braid.
Tell me you love me, your face is ugly.
My ragtime gal.
Yeah.
That was nice. Alright, we are live.
Hello.
I'll stop with my
Well,
singing.
okay, I'm refreshing the page to see.
Sorry. Sorry, I'll stop singing in my terrible singing voice.
We are live, Topher, so please cut that shit out.
Please
Watch
never
your
sing.
dad gum to mouth.
My dad has never gummed my mouth, thank you very much.
I'm not sure about the connotations of that sentiment.
Yeah.
To mouth.
Alright.
My dad has never gummed my mouth, thank
So
you.
we mute this. We post all of our links in all of our places that need to be posted.
All of our links and all of our places.
All the king's horsemen and all the king's men kind of put
I'm making a
back
stream
together
tunnel.
again.
Because Nate's
Whoa,
broken
I
tonight.
accidentally opened a gate to.
I'm making a stream tunnel.
Because
I don't think this is good. This is a bad thing.
Nathan is broken this
No,
evening.
please stop.
Yeah, I am the big dead.
The big dead.
This is how black holes happen. Do you want?
No,
black
I'm pretty
holes?
sure that's not what happens here.
Okay, here we go.
Did you post your link in other Discords, Hunter?
Not yet, I'm getting there. I'm gonna
Should've
double
done that
post it
first.
for Matt. You know,
Double
Discord.
post. Oh my god, double posting.
Oh my god, he's whack.
I call this one double and this one posed.
I call this one dead, and I call this one also dead.
You've been sitting on your hands again?
No,
Oh, just checking.
my hands aren't cold. I took an ibuprofen, so I'm probably gonna start getting hot real soon.
Is
I
that
think you're
something that happens to you?
You already started that way, Nate.
You be hot already.
You be hot already.
I am feeling pretty toasty.
Well, you are wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
if
but
I
that's
take the
part
hoodie
of
off,
his-
I will freeze.
That's
That's,
part of his
that's
body.
part of his sickness.
No, it's part of his body. It's
Oh,
looks like a hoodie. It's just his skin.
That's
After
gross.
so long indoors, it has grown thick and baggy off of his
Oh,
skeleton.
no. I don't think that's how that works.
You like Nate cold? That's weird. He's like Gespotch Nate.
What?
Gespotch NATO.
So we came here to get a hat, some drugs, a potential survivor, and some very hot bird people.
What are you doing in there? Drugs.
Them burbs.
Science,
drugs.
bitch!
Yeah, science.
Trying to think of
Oh,
the shattered people let me promote there. Let me promote myself there.
am I
Yeah, you're
orange?
doing off topic.
No,
Am I
they made
orange?
they just for me. They made a promotions channel because I was like, "Hey guys, I would love to promote in your channel," and they're like, "We don't have one of those," and I was like, "Well, shit,
Oh,
maybe we should have one."
you right.
You can't just go around telling people you're hard.
All right, here we go.
I'm hard. I'm hard.
Captain Jack Hart.
This is the tale of Captain Jack
Am I
Hart.
orange on the stream, guys? I can't tell.
No, I don't see
Okay,
you
good.
as orange. Okay, so somebody wanted a recap. Who wants
Yeah,
Who wants to be
I'll-
the historian recap?
I'm hard.
I
And-
want to do it.
Okay, let's have Cody
me.
do the recap, and then we'll do a little chat, and then we'll get started for real.
Topher will just say,
Oh,
I'm
what
hard.
old chat.
Yeah, a little chat. All right, so previously on Dragon Ball. Oh wait, Shattered, not Shattered. Scarlet Sash
Jesus,
stories.
Hunter. Come on, bro.
Previously on Scarlet Sash Stories. You're in jail. Huh, bunch of racist bastards. I'm Hart. You are traveling on a horse cart. Huh, looks like you woke up, horse thief, trying to cross the border. So we have been transported from prison. Our sentence in prison for crimes that we may or may not have committed has been commuted under the assumption that we will join a penal corps, which is not as fun as it might sound. Penal corps, in this sense, means that we are going to be operating on behalf of the military for the sole purpose of entering in what is functionally a lethal plague quarantine zone because a meteor fell out of the sky into a neighboring country, a biarchy, I believe.
Yeah.
And it has devastated the countryside, the folks, and chaos is abundant and abounds. And frankly, they're like, we ain't gonna send our soldiers in there to get minced up. So instead, they've recruited the worst of the worst, some sort of creepy pedophile sellsword who is constantly harassing
Jesus
women.
Christ. That escalated quickly.
A highly attractive and capable young elven priestess, young being subjective to the elven people, also very sexually promiscuous gnomish woman who is very aroused by her captain, and also one other human spy who is
not here
having a
today.
birthday and is no longer here today.
She's very ill.
We were sent on a quest by a female pilot. Was that a human?
Yeah.
Pilot?
Human airship captain.
Yeah, a human airship captain whose airship crashed just outside of the safe zone of our fort into the dangerous zone that they hired us to go scout. We were sent to go reconnaissance, bring back any survivors or associated materials that we could, and report back the details to our fort. We were also given on the low and low a little bit of information that perhaps this airship was being used to smuggle some of that good druggos. And so we were told that if we could get some drugs, then we might be, sort of in on the cahoots with this airship captain who might be willing to help us out of a tight spot. But of course, drugs and the military is always a bit of a dangerous proposition, especially when you can get punished for a crime for literally no reason.
Yeah.
Because crimes are just nothing but a promise by the ownership class of violence.
The social contract.
Which is sort of what's happening right now. So after about half a day's travel north of the fort, we have found ourselves at the associated crash site where we expect that perhaps a harpy's nest lies within the rubble of this recently crashed airship.
I mean, according to the stream, we're gonna fight 2 harpies and a sullen harpy. I'm just saying.
You're not supposed
sullen
to
harpy?
watch that.
Well, he's
harpies
telling
and a
everybody in
sullen
the
harpy?
audience.
Oh, you can see in my little in my little shadow box on
you
the
cheating?
stream. He is cheating.
You're
Cheating,
not
Topher?
supposed to play the stream, Topher.
Yeah, just pop out the chat.
Yeah. Did you know you could do that, Topher? You can pop out the chat and not
Or
cheat.
you can just pause the video.
Do that too?
Pause your video.
No,
Promise.
I'm dying.
Here, we'll scroll down a little bit. Those are just my tokens, so you don't know how many or if I will even use any of them.
Yeah, because there's orcs boys that popped out.
Yeah. So at the
It's okay.
very end,
Still in chaos.
at the very
What have we
end,
learned?
we learned not to watch the stream, Topher.
We learned the hunter doesn't know how to hide things.
What?
No, you don't want that.
He literally is hiding it
Yeah.
appropriately.
Oh my god.
I can't hide it from the audience. They have to know
Yeah.
how screwed you guys are.
The whole point is so the audience can see. Topher, come on.
Yeah. Let
You're a sport
me
fighter. You should
mute
be
my
fine
phone.
to kill a bunch of harpies.
Yeah.
I
So
have
at the
bow and arrow.
at the very end of the stream, they came up. They snuck very unsuccessfly from.
I snuck successfully.
Yeah. So Celine here is
I didn't even
still
try.
snucked.
Snucked.
And
Racist.
these 3 failed their sneak, and so which summoned this orc boy from inside the crash. He came out and he saw them, but not Celine because she snucked, and
Snuck so good.
raised the alarm. And that's literally where we stopped because that was our 4-hour point. It was 1 a.m.
Well, if Ray's the alarm, then we should kill Ray.
We can't kill Ray. She's a Mary Sue. She's gonna kick our ass. We're
Wow.
level 1.
Wow.
That was a good cultural
Let's spark
reference.
some controversy in the
Yeah.
chat. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ray
So
stands
We're
over
not here for
Finn stands
controversy.
over
We're here for tabletop.
yeah,
You
and
think that you can't have both? Come on.
so before we get started all the way, we do need to note that our dear friend Jordan is not here today, and he would be playing his character Trish, and because he's not here today, we will sort of be all collaborating on playing Trish. Someone can volunteer to. Actually, I need to gift you guys that character sheet in your notes real quick. Or I can do most of it, but I will allow you guys access just in case I need.
Normally, I would be willing to take it upon myself to do that,
Yeah.
but not tonight.
If you can make the rolls for me, I'm happy to do all the movements.
Yeah.
Since I've got the combat chart and everything, and I more or less understand it. And this is gonna be Topher's first proper combat.
Okay, everybody should be able to see Trish now in the journal. Second thing to note,
Lots of
myself
Okay.
and Nathan over here, we received our second coronavirus vaccine shots recently. Mine was 2 days ago and Nate's was yesterday.
I am literally dying.
And it's rough. It's like we both got the Moderna one, and they warn you. They're like, this shit's gonna
they warn
suck, and it does.
And Hunter's like, "Oh man, I have the body aches, boo hoo hoo," and I'm like, "I got the body aches. I'm having chills so bad, I think I'm freaking out, going into shock. Got upset stomach, massive fever, and delirious dizziness, and I'm over there freaking."
Yeah. So
Nate's good.
This is all to say that he feels a little worse than he normally.
Yeah, this is all normal Nate stuff.
This
so.
is about standard, I
Yeah.
would say.
No. Aches, yes. Everything else, no.
Yeah. So, getting the vaccine, excellent. Super suggested. Everybody should do it. But be prepared, especially if you're getting the 2-shot one. The second shot, it'll kick your little booty pretty good.
Hope you're one of the lucky ones. Short and simple.
And yeah, so I was really shitty yesterday, and I'm just like a little bit shitty today. And so Nate is currently in the really shitty part. And so that's all to say that tonight we are not going to go 4 hours, and we will not be ending at 1 a.m. We will be ending earlier than that. We're going to probably shoot for 2 hours. So we're going to go from 9-ish, probably starting right about 9:20, 9:15. And we're going to try and aim for 11, and we'll find a satisfactory concluding point, and we will stop there. And then Nate can rest, and I can rest, and Jordan can come back from whatever he's doing. And next Friday, April... I need to look at my calendar. 23rd, we will resume. Because, for those of you who are watching right now, Scarlet Sash Stories is every Friday. Starting last Friday, going the next 2 Fridays of April into May. And so we will be having our weekly show and able to pick up from where we left off when we can. So, today's episode will be a little bit shorter. We're down a person. 2 of us are suffering. Nate is really suffering. And so, that's just a little PSA. So, second point of business, is there anything that anybody is interested in adding to our no-go content or anything like that? I've talked to all of you literally last night. But just checking if there's anything like major in your life that occurred where you're like, hey, let's not talk about this tonight.
I banged the drum.
No drums, okay?
Oh.
We'll avoid the plague for this session.
Yeah. How about no vaccines?
Yeah.
No vaccines.
There will be no
Oh,
vaccines in this session.
Yeah, I
Due to
can
recent trauma.
promise.
It's because vaccines cause autism. I mean,
Whoa.
what? Don't believe anything I say.
Disclaimer. Any views stated do not represent.
Yeah. Do not represent even
Oh,
the
yeah.
opinion of the person who
Yeah,
stated it.
yeah, of the
Yeah.
person who actually said it. We did just lose your video
Bad
coding.
joke.
My
And
video.
a
Yeah.
tired joke.
Why does your living room look like a school, Nate?
This isn't a living room. Also, this is my game room, and that's a table back there, bro.
Do you have fluorescent lights? Or are they just...
No.
Okay. Alright, you're back. Alright,
Right.
sweet. You do have really bright lights. Okay,
I
so
want to turn it off.
Go fall asleep.
we should
My.
get started.
Yeah.
So, to briefly recap,
Oh god. Oh
Celine is still stealthed. The other three have been spotted. You see, right now, this guy. There's one orc. And for the sake
One orky boy.
one orky boy. And so for the sake of combat, I would love if you each individually controlled your tokens to the best of your ability. And so
I'm gonna drop mine right here.
okay.
I need more mana.
To the best of your ability includes following the rules.
Oh.
And so, brief recap of combat. You get 3 AP every turn. There are no rounds, so it's just turn, turn, turn. Initiative is roll a d10, and you add your initiative value to that result. You all have the nice list of combat actions pulled up. Everybody understands damage and peril thresholds. So I think
No.
no, nope,
Kidding.
not at all.
Does it need to go over? Did ties go to defender or attacker?
That's actually a good question.
I feel like we've had this question before.
I mean, it comes up in literally every tabletop, and the rule is
Yeah,
never
right.
the same.
So if the damage has to exceed the threshold. If it is
Okay.
equal, then you do not take damage.
Okay, you got it, boss.
We have. I need to produce them. 5.
What?
No,
No, not 5 orc boys.
not orcs.
No. Not even close.
Fortune points
Oh no.
that you guys can spend.
To
1,
avoid having our heads decapitated.
2, 3, 4, 5. So these
So proud of you.
brief recap of the fortune system. You can spend a fortune token to do one of 3 things. You can re-roll a failed check as long as it's not critically failed. I am struggling here. You can set the value of a d6 dice to 6. So, like, if you were to roll damage, you could be like, I spend a fortune point to make it a 6. And that's important because if you roll a 6, then you can roll the dice again because 6s explode. And then you can also, during your turn, spend a fortune point to get an additional action point, giving you 4 for the turn. So those are the 3 main ways that you spend your fortune. There will also be ways that I will describe to you in which you can spend your fortune. And when you spend it, it flips to a misfortune point, which I get. And then the way we're going to do these for the rest of this campaign is that whenever I spend it, it flips back to you. So we're just going to constantly cycle them instead of throwing them away. Because the rules as written in the Zweihander system is that when I spend a misfortune point, it gets tossed out for the entire session. But everybody basically agrees that it's better to cycle them. So when I spend it, you guys get it back and can spend it. Yeah. So that's what we got. You guys should give me your initiative.
And so it's 10, and which item do we add to it again?
It's a little bit confusing on the sheet, but if you go, let me open Jordan's sheet.
PB. 3 plus PB?
So if you
Is my
go
initiative
to the talents and trappings
Yeah.
tab,
I'm looking.
it says initiative, and there's like that box below it that's empty.
Yeah.
Look to the box to the left. So
3
that
plus
3 plus
PB.
PB is your
Yeah,
initiative.
I add that to the D10.
Yeah, so whatever the result of
Okay.
the D10 is, you add your initiative.
Okay,
Yeah.
and let me
I
get.
get extra
Or,
initiative.
sorry, let me get Trish initiative here.
14.
I got an 18.
15.
Wait,
9
Uh,
I'm
plus
gonna
6,
add my
15.
thing into it.
so Topher, was yours 14 or 15?
15. 9 plus 6.
Okay, Celine, 18.
18, yeah. Good.
And your character's name is Lillian, right?
Yeah, Lillian is a 16 as well,
I'm hard.
and Trish is 12 years old.
Oh wow,
That's
with
separate to this.
with an
just saying.
8.
Ah, 12 years old. I'm
Yeah,
hard.
Dang. Okay, so then I will roll for what you can see right now.
Sniff, sniff.
That's not good.
The sinuses are all like. Blah, blah, blah.
Someone in the chat said never believe a Nate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
stand by
rude.
that most days.
Never believe
It's
in
a
Nate
good
or never
call.
believe a Nate?
A
Hey.
no
Oh,
names.
okay.
It's a good call.
Don't
Trust
believe any Nate.
Untrustworthy, backstabbing son of a bitch.
basically.
All the Nates. Hunter,
we
we
just
lost your
lost Hunter's
camera.
video.
This
Did
backstabbing
you?
son of a
Oh,
bitch is
I
getting hot,
accidentally
too.
covered it. It's still
Oh,
it's
shit,
still
they-
going, but
No, what? No.
No, it's
It's
gone.
the
It's the solar
it's the
system.
space.
Space?
I can see it, and so the stream can see it. So it doesn't
Alright.
matter if you guys can see it.
Wow, he just doesn't
Wow.
want to show us.
Wow.
Roll20 admitted that there was some shit.
Yeah,
going
so
on.
Roll20 has been having some outages, like literally 20 minutes ago, and so we might have some technical difficulty, but we'll be fine.
I see,
Okay.
like, Hunter can't see Nate or Cody's right now, but I can.
Yeah. So current
Suffering.
initiative order is Celine, Lillian, Hart, then Trish. Okay, so Celine,
That's me.
you are first. You are in front, and you are snuck still.
We're gonna spend 2 AP to take aim, and we're gonna give him the root and toot and shooty duties.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh my shit real quick so I can try and get you guys back in here.
Pew, 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 pew.
And is one movement equivalent to one tile?
So hustle
Oh.
allows you to move as many tiles as your speed. And
Yeah,
so,
which is as your movement.
yeah, which is one AP can hustle, which is going to be like for you. Your speed is
It's base
9?
9. Mine is 6 current
yeah.
because I've got
We're
the
off
boom
to a
right.
good start.
Hell yeah, nice shot.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get them? Good work.
No. God,
Wait,
no.
did that modified? That modified increased it, Nate, didn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, I see. It increased what your goal was.
because
I
I
see.
take
Yeah.
aim.
Yeah.
No, you were right. I just thought I was reading it wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So you let loose an arrow, and it flies into the darkness of the crashed airship, and we pass the turn to Lillian.
Okay. Let's see here. Snapped corners is what I want. Are diagonals? Do we have to move in straight lines, or is this
You can do diagonal.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, that's fine.
Give him the hobbledy-dobbledy.
So I'm gonna hustle forward. I am going to let loose some inspiring words.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, Sash bearers to arms! We must slay the hideous beast!
And make
And
sure
he's
you
gonna
roll it.
"Aw, my feelings. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna roll it. So I need to roll fellowship.
And so for
leadership, yeah.
yes. And
Guys, it's
so
hot.
the effect of that is that all of you guys. Did you actually
So-
fail?
I think I can flip those, right?
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure you, as a creature,
I'm
you
pretty-
can.
Let me double check, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure my fire and brimstone.
I was gonna say there's like a 10% chance for
You
you
may,
to.
yeah, you may flip the result to succeed at leadership tests.
Okay.
When you succeed, it is always considered a critical success.
Okay.
Busted.
Yeah. So the effect that guys has on you is that you get a +1 to your damage threshold and your peril threshold. So you are harder to deal damage to, and you are harder to demoralize and or shock.
And I can hit everybody with that.
Yeah, everybody's close enough, and you have enough. You have enough fellowship bonus to get everybody. And
Cody, why does every class you play scream words like they're dragonborn?
Fusroda?
I just like to make commanding statements. It's very fun.
And so, also because he critically succeeded, you would go up one step on the peril track, but none of you are actually down on the peril track, so it's not as important.
Yeah, so I can cure sanity damage like
Yeah,
Dark Dungeon style.
or fatigue or whatever.
And then
okay.
I'm gonna hold my other action for a reaction.
Yeah. Okay, so as you walk up to deliver your inspiring words to your comrades and hold the line, you see in front of you this you get closer to what was originally described as kind of like a gore circle around a campfire.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get closer, you realize that it's the sort of like disemboweled and chopped up bodies of both harpies and orcs, sort of arranged, and they look like they've been like cleaned for meat, basically.
Okay. Yeah, butchered.
Yeah, butchered
Hungry.
and sort of just scattered around the campfire. And this is revolting to you, and so you need to make.
Oh.
You need to make a resolve +20 test because you are suffering from stress. And stress is one of the types of madness that can occur in Zweihander. And so if you fail, then you will suffer some peril.
Holy shit.
So you walk
don't give
up.
a fuck.
Yeah, you're like, that's gross, but I'm okay.
I've seen gore piles before in
Yeah.
my line of work.
This ain't shit. All right, so we pass the turn to Hart.
Get in there,
All
Dorothy
right,
boy.
well, let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right. If you zoom in, you can actually see the squares a little bit better. I don't know if you guys how close you guys are zoomed in, but I'm zoomed out far enough that I can't actually see the squares.
All right. That's as far as I can go.
So that was 1 AP. You can spend more AP to move more, if you wanted to. But yeah.
Actually, this is a suggestion, but not something you have to take at all, Topher. Just mechanically, since you're trying to cover a large amount of distance, presumably to melee attack, you can do a charge and follow it up with an attack that will give you an extra d6 of damage if you hit.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was trying to imply, is that there's not just hustle. There are other movement actions you can take.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to hold back and save it for defense, totally fine.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to charge to get up to him so I can attack.
Yeah, so if we look at that page that we snipped, does a charge use 2 to charge and then actually require the last one to attack, or is the attack part of the charge?
It just says charge at movement times 2, add 1d6 fury die to damage. So it doesn't say from that
so it would
look at the more thorough description.
Yeah, so I think it would take all 3 AP to charge an attack, if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, so you're going to get right up on the archer boy?
Yeah.
Smash him.
Okay. So yeah, you can get right adjacent to him.
I don't need to because my lance has reach.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna hit him from here.
I forgot that you had a demi lance.
Little stick.
Give him the stick. That good stick.
So I wonder if I can just roll it here.
That's a crit.
Okay. And it's a crit.
Heck yeah, man.
There you go. So critical attacks, you cause them to be defenseless, and so they can't dodge or parry. And so you will roll. Let's see.
So it did the damage for him, but he needs to add the extra.
Yeah, you need to roll one more d6. So a total of 16 damage.
Kaboom!
All right. So you charge right up, and he's extremely surprised to see you just come barreling up, shield and lance ready to gore him right in the chest with the lance. And you need to roll another d6 to see what kind of wound you have inflicted. Or actually, if you inflict a wound. Okay, you don't. But if you would have gotten a 6, you would have inflicted a moderate wound.
Ooh.
And so he like came out and he was like, "Oh, there's people here," and you're like, "I'm gonna get you," and you stab him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he's got his bow, and he's like, can't barely react to it at all. Trish is. Go ahead.
No, I was were you gonna have her do something?
If you want to control her, you may.
I'm happy to control her. I don't think Jordan took down all the necessary information. What is the range of javelins?
It should be some number plus brawn. It should be like 3 plus brawn, or we can just hand wave it for today. Let's say 3 plus brawn bonus.
Okay, so that'll be like 6.
Yeah, because you're hucking it.
She does. I can't control her.
Oh, really?
So you'll need to. Move her.
Ping where you want her.
Yeah.
The javelin is 3 plus perception bonus.
Oh, it's perception. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is for most ranged weapons, is perception.
So I think there.
Yeah, it is for everything.
Thank you for looking that up. So what would that give her?
That would give her 8.
Oh yeah, so easily in range.
Okay, yeah. Let's hook that javelin.
And you want me to roll it?
Yeah.
Okay. Javelin hook.
Oh yeah.
Simple. Oh, I need skills. Simple. Ranged. No modifier. Unfortunately, she hucks it into the side of the crashed airship, where it quivers to a stop.
We're doing great.
I don't think javelins have loading, but does she need to spend a turn to get another one?
It does
out?
have 1 AP loading where you just grab another one.
I suppose. Well, no, we'll save it for a dodge.
Okay.
Well, but then she'd need to use it next turn.
Yeah, so it's like, where do you want to...
I'm gonna bank on her being far enough back that she wouldn't be able to do much, so I'm gonna have her pull the new one.
Okay, so she's loaded. Okay. So, the orcs, standing there, having just been jabbed with a lance, still holding his bow and arrow, looking kind of sheepish and confused at the sudden onslaught, cries out again, and from over here, in this half of the crashed airship, you hear the trundling footsteps of another orc comes rushing out. And he's quite the sight, because he is wearing a tricorn hat. He is wielding in one hand what looks like improvised mace.
Maybe a bag of drugs.
That is not wielding a bag of drugs. He's wielding a mace that looks like it was made out of scrap metal and harpy hands, where the talons are like clawed around. And on his left hand, he has an improvised buckler that is basically a sheet of bent metal, and then another harpy hand, like sort of gloved over his. And so he has this clawed buckler and this harpy hand mace, and the tricorn hat, and he's decked out in looks like improvised armor made out of like chunks of wood and scraps of metal and stuff. And he says, "Oi! This is my land boat. I'm Captain Wretchface, and you can't have it." And from behind him, you also see... Dun, 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 copy, paste. Another orc with a bow and arrow comes out.
You think you're a wretch face now, just wait until you see what you look like after.
Yeah, and so actually, when he says that, you kind of get a good look at him, and there's a very recent, like, 4-finger gash across his face that's like split his porcine nose, and it looks like it's just healed over. And yeah, so he's a little bit bigger than the other two, as is custom for orc leadership. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so this orc, and actually I'm gonna roll their initiative real quick, just so we can get them officially added.
Shout out to the artist behind The Witcher 3's battle music.
You guys can't hear it, but it's a bop.
Gotta follow all the Twitch rules.
Rules? Legal shit.
I know all about legal shit. I run a nonprofit. We have to have an entire page on our website. It's, they get in the way of a good time and of helping people.
Oh, I rolled a 1. Good job, orcs. Okay. So let me rewrite my initiative order so I don't completely screw it up. Sweet. Okay. So Wretchface continues his litany of hatred against you. And he begins describing all of the ways in which he's going to use his new talons to peel the flesh from your bones and feed you to his men and break every bone in your body and crush your skulls. And he's just really serious about it. And we'll see if it affects you in any way.
So, Hart is
Ooh.
not always the smartest. So when he sees the lead orc, he kind of looks at him and says, "Hey, something happened to your face."
And be like, those damn flying talon women clawed it up, and I'm gonna claw yours up. And so his litany of hatred actually nullifies the benefits of Cody's inspiring words. What?
How many people can he get?
Actually, that's a good point. Let me look.
What's his fellowship bonus?
He actually can only get 3. So it's going to be everybody but Celine. So Celine still...
Anyway.
Yeah, so Celine still has... You still have your threshold benefits from Cody's words. You just basically disbelieve everything he's saying. You're like, I don't think so.
I don't really buy the whole ripping my head out. And
Yeah, like, I don't think you're going to feed me to your men, but,
How
yeah.
is that
I
even
know about that.
possible?
Yeah.
That's what he said. How is this even physically possible?
And so he's going to come bounding forward. I should actually count that.
I don't know what to do. Bounding.
And he like stops right here, and you can see he's like getting ready to hop the crate and mess with one of you two, either
Hart.
Lillian or Hart. Okay,
Holy shit.
you gonna make
I'm
it?
getting pretty toasty. Yeah.
So then this Orcs is going to take the disengage action, which takes 2 AP, and then he's going to go wee all the way home this way.
He is a little piggy.
Did you like that?
Engage.
Disengage.
What a
Disengage.
guy. What a guy.
You guys aren't getting engaged anymore.
And then this Orcs is going to fire his short bow, and you can tell, again, this is all like crudely made piecemeal garbage.
Garbage.
That's
And he
rude.
missed.
He actually did miss. So he fires an arrow at Hart, and it kind of like not slowly, but it's a little slower.
I
than...
do the Matrix.
Well, yeah, you're like I've been shot at with arrows before, and that one was kind of pitiful. It just kind of like goes over your shoulder.
Is that a critical fail?
That is a critical fail, and so he will suffer peril.
What a loser.
Way to go, Cody. Cody's vibing over here.
Okay, but he doesn't actually suffer the
Ass
peril.
And kill orcs, and I'm all out of ass.
Got lots of orcs though.
Gross.
Okay, and so it becomes Celine's turn again.
What a lady.
I do want to point out here that I am going to drop a little hint that there is a mysterious benefit that you can spend 2 fortune points to activate. And I will prompt you to make skill checks to sort of glean what that could be as we go through the turns.
What kind of skill checks we talking?
So you don't get one, but I will let you know when you do get one.
Okay. We're just gonna load, take aim, and shoot at the leader boy.
Okay, so plus 10 benefit.
Yep.
Kerchew.
Holy shit, I hit. It's that Christmas.
Did it?
Oh, I could be. I'm a dope.
They're
I could just be doing
drunk
this, huh? I'm just gonna roll this for damage.
Ooh,
44? Oh, wait, no. I thought that was the damage. I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So the arrow fly. Oh, did you shoot at Wretch Face?
Yeah.
Okay. The arrow flies forward and hits him in the chest, but it's kind of hard to, like, he doesn't seem to notice it.
With 12 damage?
So it hits him and you see blood and everything, but it's doesn't seem super significant to him.
So he may have gone on one parry or something. He didn't just like bash it out the air.
Yeah, he didn't shrug it off or anything, but he's still coming.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. My initial thought was like,
Yeah.
he has a damage.
A minimum damage threshold. No. Yeah. So
That would be
sorry to give you a heart attack. Okay, so now it's Lillian's turn.
okay. Well, you can't back away when there's a fight to be had. We're gonna move up 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna just give this guy the classic smackery do, I think.
All right.
We have more AP to spare right now. So we're not gonna do a called shot or anything like that. He also didn't dodge last time, so maybe he doesn't have any. And I am two-handing this, so what adaptable is that one more bonus
Weird.
damage?
I believe so.
Okay. And there's no other modifiers here.
Oh, I did my damage wrong. I actually should have done less.
How did you do it wrong?
So in my damage sector, I put like 1d6, so I technically rolled 2d6. Because I thought I had to add the weapon damage, but it automatically rolls the fury die, so.
Oh, is that why you did 5?
Oh, in the modifier? Okay. Yeah.
I mean, either way, I still would have done like 11 damage, so.
Yeah, because it just rolled the 1 as yeah. So yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so.
Did mine produce correctly?
Yeah.
I think so, right?
Yeah, yours is doing it right. Yeah. It's just weird that it's got damage and damage modifier in there.
Yeah, so he is gonna try and parry this.
Okay.
No, +1. And he fails. And so
That succeeds.
this one he does like shrug off. So the
8 damage doesn't hurt him at all.
yeah, so you swing at him and he goes to like block it, but your axe like glances off a wooden like plank that he has strapped to his shoulder or whatever.
That's not good. I can't do much more damage than that.
I mean, you only rolled a 2.
Yeah, I know. I guess my dice can explode.
Yeah. Okay. So now it's Heart's turn. Unless you want to use 1 AP for anything, Cody.
I'll save it.
Okay.
All right. So, is this a box I need to like climb over?
You can move like through like between them, or you could if you wanted to just you are close enough
can
to
just
get
move here.
Yeah, you can get to him.
I can just move here and stab him with my reach weapon.
Yeah.
Is there a flanking bonus? I can't recall.
We can do like a DM flanking bonus where I can say, "Hey Topher, when you roll this attack, add 10% to it." So you got it anyway. All right, yeah. So you heckin' stab him. You like shuffle over around the box and thrust that lance forward, and let's see. Do you want him to roll toughness for your powerful weapon or anything like that?
Yeah, why not? So if he fails a toughness roll, then it would push him 1 yard away.
Yeah, so it would push him like
Into fire.
like into the gore.
Yeah.
And so let's
The rules
roll that.
also do say, yeah, if you're flanking the foe, or if you're doing like an opportunity attack, you get 10% for flanking, 20% for opportunity attack.
Yeah. So you're able to physically shove him this way. With your powerful lance thrust. Lance thrust would be an excellent name.
Foreign name?
And so do you want to use your last AP for anything, or do you want to save it for a dodge or a parry?
I'm saving. I'll hold my last one.
Okay. All right. So he looks over at Hart, and you can see there's like maybe a flash of concern across his face as he's like, oh, like what are the? I'm suddenly like I didn't expect it to go this way, but he lashes out at Lillian with his harpy hand mace.
Suddenly
And he
confused.
critically succeeds. So you can't dodge or parry.
Can I use a fortune point to make him reroll that? Or is that not a thing?
No, but you can use it to set his fury dice to 1. Or no, wait. You can't do that either.
It's for changing your rolls, not their rolls. I think.
Yeah, so like you can set your dice to 6, or you can reroll your dice, but you can't.
I can't dodge or parry though.
Yeah. So
GG,
I
kid.
thought there was a point for these.
yeah, so like if you don't get critically succeeded against, then you can dodge the attack or whatever.
Well then, fuck.
Okay, so he's not gonna like mega kill you, but you do take 11 points of physical damage. Does that exceed your?
I take one.
Okay.
So you're lightly wounded then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he basically like, as you guys are sort of jockeying for combat position, he like swipes at you with the clawed buckler, and you like sidestep, and then he lashes at you with the harpy claw mace, and it scrapes across you, opening up some bloody wounds. And then he is.
You're gonna need a tetanus shot.
Does that automatically affect my rolls? Like, does lightly wounded?
No, only peril will affect your rolls.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll pass the turn to Trish.
So she can still hit from where she's at right now, right?
Yeah, she could huck a javelin at either an archer or Wretchface.
Is there a threat or like a reduction in chance to hit if they're firing into like an engagement?
I think it is like a -10. Here, let me look. Let's see. It might be on my other sheet. let's just say it's a -10 right now because I can't find it specifically.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna have her. So does she need to move to hit the other guy?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, then she's just gonna throw a javelin at the archer.
Okay.
I think I actually. Let me try and see if I can do it real fast.
Oh yeah, I can open her sheet. But yeah, if you can, you should. There you go. Why? Oh yeah. Nice. And actually, you need to roll 2d6 additionally as well.
Well, why?
Okay.
Oh,
So yeah, no serious wound, but the javelin sails forward, strikes him deep in the shoulder, and you can tell he's really not like enjoying what's going on here.
I don't think javelins can make serious wounds.
Oh, are they weak? Maybe they are weak.
They are weak.
Okay, yeah, so then it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Hey, don't do that to me. He's not even here. The one who wrote that's not even here.
Yeah. And so the like.
And then I'll throw the other one.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw that one too.
You can't take the same action
Oh,
in the
Yeah.
turn. You can only take each
can't attack
action once.
twice.
Yeah.
I'll save it to dodge if I need it.
Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna fire back at Trish because he's pissed. All right, Trish needs to dodge.
Oh man.
Okay, she will dodge. I was thinking maybe I'll just let her die.
just not dodge.
Her dodge
Fuck it.
sucks.
Oh,
And fail.
oh, terrible.
If he dies, you can let him know I did it all.
Yeah. So she takes 9 damage. I'm assuming that exceeds her first damage threshold.
Yeah, it does.
You guys are great meat shields, by the way. I just want to let you know that.
That's
Yeah.
the whole point of my character, frankly.
And so he's gonna then use one of his AP to kind of like skedaddle back this way.
Oh, that piece of crap. He was in range.
And so then this one is gonna shoot at Heart. So he can see you because like these boards here are like overhanging because this is like the top of the destroyed upended airship. So he's like looking through. Does that make sense, Topher? So you know,
Yeah, sure.
So you know that I'm not cheating.
Sure.
So he fires an arrow at you, and you do need to dodge. If you
I have a shield.
oh yeah, so you can parry.
So,
So you would roll simple, or actually,
I'm just gonna roll parry. I'm just gonna roll parry.
yeah. So parry you can choose simple or martial melee.
Yeah, and it'll have the bonus 10 or whatever.
You
Wow.
critically failed.
Wow.
Way to go.
So
Wow.
you're like, that last shot he fired was such a wimpy little thing. I can easily thwack. You get hit like right in the shoulder with this arrow, and so not only do you suffer 10 damage,
Okay.
you also suffer.
He's gonna say a wound, and you're gonna be like, nope, I don't suffer wounds.
It's not a wound.
I mean, you're not wrong.
What was the thing you have about parrying when you have a shield or something?
If I use my weapon two-handed, I can parry every time. I can't fail parry checks.
So you suffer 11 peril
Okay.
as you are so shocked to be hit by an arrow that you were expecting to block that it kind of like you're questioning yourself a little bit. You're like, I definitely should have blocked that one.
Actually, he's just embarrassed because when the arrow hit him in the shoulder, it bent over and slapped him in the throat halfway through his head. So he's
And so do you
So how much peril?
11.
11.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm imperiled.
Yeah. Did you take damage though with 10?
I did.
Okay.
I'm lightly wounded.
Okay. And now it's Celine's turn again.
Oh boy. So Celine is gonna cast some magic.
Magic.
Yeah, so we're gonna use our hedge wizardry ability. When I cast general magic at my option, I may automatically succeed at the incantation test, but move one step down the peril condition track negatively.
I don't like
I
what you
agree.
just said. Take it back.
So,
He's going a little crazy. Just a little crazy.
and I'm gonna shoot the leader orc boy.
With a magic missile.
Yeah. It's not working right. It's not rolling it. Weird.
Did you hit 0 for the modifier?
Oh, I guess it doesn't even have damage. Okay, anyways, I just roll damage.
Because it's the D10 plus your willpower, right?
Yeah, and my willpower good. Pew, 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 pew.
Dang, that's a
Is that
good
your
roll.
damage?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Fear me if you dare.
And so unfortunately, magic can't inflict injuries as far as we're aware. I think we actually looked that up when we played last time. But so the way that I always picture magic missiles in any like setting as the Mass Effect. Yeah, like you like throw. I don't even remember what it was called. I think it was called warp
Throw.
or
Warp is a
throw.
different one. Throw
Yeah.
is where you just hit them and they go flying.
Yeah, where you like throw the big blue orb and it goes boom and poof. Yeah, so that's how I picture it. I don't know how you guys.
About that, I've always just thought of it as like an invisible punch.
Yeah.
I'm about that
I
life.
like biotics too.
And so if you look at how Celine is
Oh yeah. I still have more
positioned with like Lillian, she like curves the bullet because magic missile can never
Wanted?
magic
Wait.
missile yeah magic missile can never miss. You don't have to roll to hit or anything. As long as you succeed, it hits. And so it's like
She just said,
yeah, so there's like this curve and it like briefly slows down and then accelerates around and slams into the side of Wretchface, and like boards of wood and like rope and shit come flying off of him as the blast like washes over his body. And he is not feeling good. He is certainly now very unhappy.
have you ever been not feeling good and then somebody just said, magic missile?
Yeah.
Then come on down to Magic Missile.
Come on down to Magic Missile Emporium, because we got all the not feeling good you could handle.
This is
Good man.
a Morty.
That's it.
And then I will load my bow and I will leave my last AP just in case.
Okay. And so then
I'm Surprise Johnson.
so Lillian, a rippling bullet of magical energy has just flown over your shoulder and blasted into him.
Get fucked, loser.
And now it's your turn.
I'm gonna try and finish this guy dead. So I'm gonna
Finish
do
him dead.
called shot. Wait, actually,
Ooh.
Oh, actually,
this guy doesn't have any AP left, right? At least we should know.
I'm trying to think. He would still have one because you can't dodge or parry magic missile, and so he didn't try.
Correct.
And so he
Wait,
went,
try and parry mine.
but no, he went after you
Oh.
because it went Wretchface and then Trish who attacked the archer, then the orcs who fired back, and then Nate's turn, and now you. And so he still has 1 AP.
Okay, so I'll do a called shot.
Okay, so he can't
Combat test that he can't.
cannot parry.
This hits. Come on, Cody, use your brain hole. plus 10 since he's flanked.
Use your brain hole.
So you succeed.
I want to use one of our fortune points to max out.
All right.
2.
Set it as a 6 and roll it
And
again.
I'm gonna roll. I cannot roll anything except 2s today. But at least
Correct.
Yeah.
Damn.
So you got 11, 12, 13. Um,
I feel really insulted by this.
Dice?
Yeah, the dice are being assholes.
I'm sorry.
okay. So give me, your axe is not weak or anything like that, right?
My axe is weak, I believe. Basically every simple weapon is weak.
Basically.
Yeah, it's weak.
Okay. So you spin your axe around your head and whack him across his makeshift helmet, and he is like staggering and bleeding and coughing up blood and just sort of
Delicious.
at the very edge of death. And he's looking around like an animal that's cornered in a trap or whatever. And now it's Heart's turn.
Oh boy.
My turn. All right, I'm gonna hit him again, boys. It's gonna be a great time.
Get him. Get him.
I don't know if he's ready for it.
He's ready.
Ooh, I missed.
Oh.
So, you can, if you want, spend a fortune point to re-roll that.
Why would I want to do that?
Because you missed.
Yeah, but then it's gonna give you a misfortune point,
Yeah.
and I don't even like League of Legends.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for these secret checks.
Yeah, so I was going to have Cody make one, but I forgot to.
Wow.
So, are you not going to re-roll, Topher?
No, I'm gonna hold.
Okay.
My
So then you should also make an eavesdrop check.
an eavesdrop check. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So
Nice.
you, as the fighting is going on, because you're all like yelling and parrying and getting shot with arrows and crying out and stuff. There's a brief lull in the noise as Wretchface is kind of like recomposing himself, and Lillian's like, "I'm gonna cut you down," and you barely missed, and so you're like repositioning, and you hear from to your left, somewhere within like the bowels of this half of the airship, you hear kind of like a rustling and then a thump, and then it sounds like someone sort of under their breath says, "Oh fuck," but in a very like human, not orc way.
It's the other guy.
Yeah, so this is part of our secret potential fortune.
Secret potential.
And so, if you want to, you can spend 2 fortune points and further advance that, but you don't have to.
Do it.
Further advance that.
Do it.
So what would happen if I used the fortune points?
Well, then 2 of them would become misfortune, and something beneficial would happen.
Okay, I'm gonna use them.
All right. So 2 fortune points become misfortune points, and from a previously unseen hidden trapdoor in what would be the roof, because this is on its side, the roof of the cargo hold bursts open, and a man steps out with a musket, and he says, "I sure hope you guys aren't bandits." And he fires the musket at Wretchface.
It's a man,
Melee
Celine.
combat. Enjoy that.
Well, he's like right here. So
But I mean,
he's
there's still the chance to hit
he is
allies.
still firing into melee combat. You're right. So let's just hope he doesn't critically fail.
I mean, I'm at reach, so you
Anything
know.
I know about me in this game.
Okay. So he does not critically
I'm at
fail.
range.
Does he succeed?
He succeeds.
Okay. Well, it's like, it's not, it could be iffy.
He fires the musket and blows Wretchface's head apart in a cacophonous, just like spray of sparks and smoke that deafens both Hart and Lillian, because the like cavern of the airship's body like channels this explosive noise towards you guys. And
That gets me hot.
Wretchface just immediately drops.
It's a man, Celine.
It is a man, and he just brained that guy.
Celine's hot and bothered right now.
Yeah, she is.
As I have a headache.
Yeah, and like you get sprayed with like sparks and like smoke detritus just like comes.
Now,
So inedible.
Yeah, it comes.
now, Hunter.
Yes.
Because this game is amazing, do his underlings suffer peril at the sight of this?
They do, and there's a little bit more to it. They have a chance to turn on each other.
Yeah, because he's the leader.
This game is incredible.
Isn't it awesome? I need to find a token because I forgot to do that.
And start to see, can we instead take up these orcs as our charges and start an orc warband? north of the
Jesus.
wall?
Start our own orc warband. I like that.
It's like, hey, remember us? You sent us up here to die.
We're back.
We're the wildlings now, mother. See how your border patrol likes this?
We're just gonna give him
And this is our new friend, Man's Orker.
I'm Man's Orker. I'm the resident orc communicator here.
And
What's
so
your
yeah,
name, soldier. Hugh
It's,
Bannister.
the guy is young. He's obviously like 18 to 20-ish.
Hot.
He is very attractive. He's got
Shit.
dark skin, a nicely trimmed goatee.
Celine uses all of her AP to run to.
Except for like a
Give me
little
that
bit of like disheveled hair. He looks the sort of like stereotypical perfect like soldier boy. He's got the uniform that looks like it hasn't been rumpled in a single place. His buttons are polished and everything. His kit is all like arranged perfectly. And he's standing there with the musket shouldered, the smoke cloud billowing out. And he's like, I'll say it again. I sure hope you aren't bandits. And
Hart says, "Where'd you come from?"
he's like, we'll have to talk about that in a second, as he begins to load the musket.
I'll say, we're from Fort Bodeswell. We're here to help.
He says, oh, thank God. That's what I was hoping. So Wretchface is dead.
Keep your head down. They have archers.
Keep your heads down.
That's my way of giving him advantage on his dodge check.
Yeah, it's your aid another, right?
Cody's like, "You did it, Goku."
All right,
Well,
Trish.
I can do that as a reaction. I can aid another.
Yeah. So Trish's turn.
I always forget about that.
I am just ruining these tokens down here.
Having a great time.
You're even doing, Hunter.
I'm turning 2 of them to bad boy tokens.
I know, but like, why don't you just like?
Fill them in.
I like the half moon idea.
Yeah, thank you. I did that on purpose.
You definitely did that on purpose, I can tell.
I would have fixed it actually, but I can't drag them. I can make them and I can all like twist them, but I can't drag them.
Oh, and I will point out that when he shot Wretchface in the head, his head like exploded, but the hat just kind of like jumped into the air off of his
Can I
head
snatch it?
and like floated gently to the ground. unharmed.
Just pick it up as a free action.
Pick it up, put it on. So what?
Right in front of me.
What would you like Trish to do?
Trish is going to move up. I think she does because they backed up, right?
Yeah, so they are both. I was like gonna touch my computer screen to show you.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I get you.
I don't
I
know.
do that all the time.
Yeah, I was like, they're right here. Like, see, they're just look, they're right there.
So
I
just
want her
it's
to
right
move
there. It's right
Yeah.
there.
Right
Right there.
heart as a body wall,
Put
and I want her
like
to
here.
throw a jab. Yeah.
Yeah, and she can huck a javelin into the
Yeah.
wreckage. Because there's not a ton obstructing from here to here, because it's just like the open cavern of the airship belly.
If I can hit the one that's already been pretty hecked up.
Yeah, so that's the one on the left. And he's you can see him. He's like got this arrow pointed down. His eyes are wide with terror at the sight of Wretchface being killed.
He peed his pants. Oh no.
Classic quality roll.
Yeah, so she misses unless
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Are there any of the javelins that she threw earlier?
There's
Like,
one like
guy?
right here in the airship.
Oh, okay.
But they're all like one was here, one is in the orc, and then the last one you threw is like over there.
Oh, the first one I threw, it's all the way over here?
Yeah, because she was standing here, and the archer guy was like right here,
Oh, okay.
and she threw it and missed, and it went tongue into the.
Okay. Never mind. Then, can she... There's not, like, an action for take cover, is there? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
So, yeah, I'm gonna have her take cover
Okay.
behind these boxes.
Is this a +3, +6, or +9 height box?
It's a +3. It's just a little one.
Okay.
Okay, so that's Trish's turn. Orcs 1 makes a resolve test.
I should be...
He succeeds. He's such a good boy. And so he turns to his companion and he spins 2 fortune points. And he says,
I'm the leader now.
Big lead now.
I'm going to let that damned harpy out. You get out of here. And he takes off into the depths of the crashed airship. And you hear the clanging of chains and the screeching and clattering of metal.
You go that way. I'll go die.
And Orcs 2 takes a shot at Hart.
Try this again.
And fails. And then he
All right, good.
he books it through the massive tangle of like cords and rope and shit that connected the envelope to the hull of the airship, and he begins trudging across this giant like fabric expanse up here, of where the partially deflated envelope is sitting on the ground. And so he's like, did you ever do that thing in PE where you take the big parachute and you like
and
you put air under
and
it?
you get under
So
it.
he's like running across that because there's parts of it that are kind of like ballooned up, and his body is obviously like weighing it down as he's like trundling across. So from the back of the airship over here, dun, 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 you hear the screeching cry of, here she comes.
Of a baby, a literal
Literal baby. A harpy bursts out of this exploded edge, or this exploded backside of the airship. And you all see it take flight into the air. And it looks like not great. It's
The
got...
look on my face. I drew the look on my face. It's right there on the map.
That's beautiful.
Your eyes are square.
Yeah.
Does Art wear glasses?
Art wears glasses, just like inexplicably never mentioned square glasses.
Yeah.
She takes off from the back of the airship, and she's got this like scrap iron collar on that's kind of dangling a short chain, and then on each wrist there's like what looked like hastily crafted. It's just like bent scrap metal basically around each wrist, and it's clearly like hampering her ability to fly. And she's like, doesn't look good at all. She's got like dried blood on her.
That poor harpy. She's tied up. We have to save her.
Gotta save the harpy.
I'm into it.
And from inside the,
Are her hands like manacled
they're
together?
not manacled together, but there's just like big, heavy, like wrist.
Wait.
Yeah, you know.
Do they look
fucking-
like they could be easily broken?
the cuffs on her wrist?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. It's just like
Okay.
it's just straight up bent metal. And so she's weighed down is the implication. And from the back of the crash you hear in a very orcish voice that says, "Kill the humies or you get another beating." And she goes, "Rah!" Do I have my noise dampening turned off?
No, I heard that.
I heard that.
Oh, good.
I heard you just fine.
Excellent.
It's a beautiful harpy sound.
Thank you. I
Excellent.
worked really hard. Okay, so she takes off into the air, and she begins to circle around you guys, and she's like around back here right now. And now it's Celine's turn.
Oh man, it's almost like she would just wanted to be in range of me.
Well, she's coming in to swoop.
It's swoopy.
So I'm gonna spend 2 AP to take aim, and I'm gonna give it the root and toot and shooties. Pew, pew, pew.
For a plus 20.
Yeah, I made it. I keep forgetting to just roll through my talents.
Oh,
and
your
trappings.
attack.
Yeah. So my damage
Hey,
should be
you
correct
did it.
this time.
You did it.
Yeah,
Okay.
God, I rolled a 1 again. I am rolling like. Damn
Yeah,
bad
so
at
you
attack.
you wing an arrow up at her. Or I guess you actually take aim. So you're really giving it a good get out of here, turn order. I don't need you.
Don't mind this.
And the arrow flies up. Obviously, it loses a little bit of velocity as it's traveling upwards, but it does catch her right in the thigh, and she like cries out. "Rah!"
Suck it.
Lillian.
So I can't reach that guy, really, no matter what.
Yeah, probably not.
So I'm just gonna hustle to about here, and
Okay.
is this tall? Can I use this to take good cover?
Yeah. So this is a downed tree. It's like a like an evergreen tree.
Yeah,
And
I
so
thought
it
that was-
yeah, it's like a giant cone of branches and needles and shit that's been uprooted and pushed over.
So I want to take high cover amongst this.
Okay. Yeah, so you'll get the full cover bonus cuz you're literally like basically covered by branches and parts of the wood of the airship.
That's my bush.
Also,
Gross.
this is like total shot in the dark. But could I make a skill check against the harpy to try and charm it into turning on the orc?
You can try, because you don't know a whole lot about harpies. I mean, I guess if you wanted to like do like a folklore or something and be like, would this work? Or you can just try it.
I could. I guess it would. I don't know. I'll try it. I
Okay.
guess. So I'll make a folklore check to see if harpies can be convinced. They seem to be able to be convinced. Gosh.
So you're thinking about it and you're like, maybe I can convince the harpy. Like I could give it a shot.
So would
Oh
I
my
need to wait
gosh.
till my next turn to try that?
It's my wife, guys. She brought the iPad.
Gosh.
Thank you.
What I need? Hello, wife. Hello, Nanan.
Cody says hello. She's running away.
So I need to wait
I
until
don't blame her.
my next turn to make that attempt at charm.
I would say that if you're using 2 different skills, you can use the action twice or whatever.
Wait, I only have 3 AP though.
Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were... Because you moved, you took cover, and then you thought about it, and that's your turn.
Yeah, thinking does take some time.
Yeah, you're like, Alright, so now it's Heart's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bargain with the harpy. Offer to free it if it turns on the orcs with us.
So you succeed. What is your, what is your...
You look like you don't want to be here.
I don't even know.
I'll free you from those cuffs if you take out the orcs.
And so it clearly hears you, and it like lets out this screech or whatever. But it's not super clear if you got through or not.
Suppose we'll find out on its turn.
Yeah.
Assuming that our guy doesn't just fucking shoot it.
So on Kolik's turn, he takes a step and he fucking shoots it.
Rest in peace, Harpy.
He shoots the harpy?
Yeah, he walks up and he's looking at you guys like, what the hell are you doing talking to this harpy? Just kill it. And he fires his gun.
He didn't see anything. He just
Okay, yeah, he saw you thinking about it. He's like, I know what you're thinking.
He's like, you're thinking about fucking that harpy. I know it because that's what I was doing.
Yeah. And so he fires his gun and he succeeds. And he does... Oh, shit.
Can we roll on 5s?
So muskets have punishing, which rolls 2d6.
Oh, okay.
And so
Just kills this thing outright.
so now we need to. Okay, he didn't injure it, but he fires and just like there's a super obvious like where there was a portion of flesh in it, like between its shoulder and its elbow, just becomes this like almost cartoonish like half circle hole where the musket just like the ball punches through and blasts all this flesh up.
Yeah.
Did it just fall out of the sky?
So that in the Zweihander book, their wings are on their arms. They like,
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean.
I don't know. I don't like that. So I have retconned it to be arms and wings because I don't.
That's not harpies.
He's right. That's
Harpies
not a
have
harpy.
always had arms with wings.
Yeah.
Look at the token. This is a
Name a
harpy.
single.
This is
That's
a.
not a harpy.
That's-
That's a gargoyle or some shit.
It's a harpy. It literally says right here.
I bet
Listen.
if I Google the first
Listen.
or the first
Listen.
10 images in Google Images are gonna be arms.
Listen, he retconned it. It's over.
Yeah.
I know. I just think that it's
This
silly.
harpy token. Well, because like in my head, I'm picturing like, how would that even work? Anyway, so
Well, usually their entire forearm is wings.
yeah. So the one in
Usually they don't
Zweihander,
have
the one in Zweihander looks
They
sort
use
of
their beady talons.
completely incapable of flight.
So, yeah, of the first 10, two have wings on their backs. So
I
it's
am
not
20% right.
unprecedented. You are 20% right.
So yeah, he blasts it again. Another just like thunder of gunfire, spraying smoke everywhere. Takes a chunk out of it. Trish's turn. What do you want her to do?
Trish is also a little bit racist. So Trish is also just gonna try and kill the harpy.
Sure.
I'm
With
gonna
the
RP.
javelin she
I'm gonna
doesn't
RP Jordan's character. I don't know how many javelins he had.
He only had 3.
Okay, so then we're gonna whip out the light crossbow because he's got one of those too. He only has ranged weapons.
Yeah, he's playing the
That's
meta.
not true. He has like 1,000,000 weapons. He's carrying an armory on him.
Yeah,
At least he's written down an armory worth of weapons.
he's prepared.
So we're gonna fire this light crossbow. He doesn't have his damage bonus set up appropriately because crossbows use agility bonus. Yeah.
I would assume so. Let me look.
I think all ranged weapons that are not thrown use agility. You have a light crossbow, right, Nate?
No,
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I have a hunting bow.
I imagine it's almost identical.
I'm looking for it. Let's see, it's got fast, punishing, and weak. So it gets 2d6 because punishing does that, right?
The light crossbow?
Yeah, it has punishing.
He didn't take down any of those details. Okay. So fast, punishing, and weak.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What is that? What
So-
are those?
So it's harder to dodge because it's fast. It deals
Okay.
an extra d6 because it's punishing, and it cannot inflict anything other than moderate wounds because it's weak.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew the weak one. Okay, so I'm gonna fire the light crossbow.
Sure. Simple ranged.
Ah, man. Ooh.
And that's a hit. All right.
Hey, I rolled 4 2s. Let's go.
Yeah, look at that. You only roll 2s.
I am only rolling 2s. Maybe that'll be useful. I should go do craps or something.
So, what you guys see is this harpy swoops out, comes careening around, gets shot with an arrow in the leg, blasted with a musket, and finally pinned in the chest with a crossbow, and comes crashing to the ground, basically like right at the edge of where like the gore surrounds the campfire, and just lays there motionless.
That was gonna be my birdie friend.
And the human companion looks at you and he like shakes his head. He's like, I don't know if you've ever dealt with harpies before, but certainly don't make good friends. And
Bird is
then
a pet when I was a kid.
you hear, let's see. Let me make sure I'm not skipping anything.
Hunter's already done with my dunderhead shenanigans.
No, it's fine. You're welcome to be a dunderhead. I just need to do the orcs' turns real quick. So they take the full book it action for 3 AP. That one going that way, and that one taking off into the tree this way. Yeah, so you can hear them trudging away at top orc speed.
Which is about 0.82 miles per hour.
It depends on if it's an African or European orc.
Yeah.
That's true.
How laden they are.
Yeah, if it's laden or, you know.
Yeah.
True.
And so that is, unless you have anything else you would like to do, the end of that combat encounter.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna go start harvesting the harpy corpse.
Oh.
Hey, I was gonna do that.
Terrible
So-
person.
Do it together.
Celine, I need a resolve plus 20 from you as you notice the ring of gore around the campfire. And I'll do one for Trish. Actually, I can just do that from her sheet.
Critical success.
All right, you recover 1 peril condition if
Hell
you
yeah,
have
which is
that.
good.
Mhm.
I did have one.
He used that feature.
Oh yeah. You look at the gore and you're like, "That's hot," and it just like
That's hot.
It like invigorates you because you're such a weirdo.
Jesus. Pretty much. Look at the one guy and be like, "You want to go for a romp in the pile?"
He's gonna be just horrified.
Horrified.
Frankly, that's a pretty horrifying thing to
That's
say.
just in general an awful.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Frankly, my dear, I don't want to fuck you in a pile of corpses. I think that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I said at my wedding.
Yeah. And Trish succeeds too. She's like, "Ugh, that's disgusting," but she doesn't throw up or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see.
I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, and
about
so Hart has a talent that allows him to ignore
Ooh.
stress caused by scenes of gory, like, disgustingness.
I have indifference.
Yeah. He's been on battlefields before.
I'm
They're very-
battle hardened.
That's a good one.
No, you're battle heart.
I'm battle heartened.
I'm battle hard.
I am battle heart.
Oh yeah. Well, while Cody does the harpy, I'm gonna loot the orc boy.
Well, I mean, you can help, I think.
Nah, I'm going for the orc boy if you're doing that.
You don't want to help me assist and get more pieces?
No.
I'll help you.
Go for the orc boy.
I'll assist
For my
you.
harpy, so I'm gonna get the orc boy.
Okay. I'm gonna. What do I need to make to collect, like, heart? Do I need to? Can I just specify which?
Yeah, so there's not going to
Elements I
be,
want.
like... I can't imagine... Unless you're like, I want to take its spleen or whatever.
I want to search for
yeah.
shiny things.
I imagine talons, talons, feathers, maybe like a couple of fang teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
Those are
all.
the things I expect would be the most useful
Yeah.
magically.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take some trophies.
I'm gonna search for the item that we were asked to bring back
So
with my
Rogos.
the hat is on the ground.
already-
Oh, you
yeah,
yeah.
on
So
the ground.
Cody's wearing the tricorn hat that Rosette asked you to retrieve.
Yeah, that wasn't the only thing she asked us
But
to
there was
retrieve.
another thing she asked you to retrieve.
Yeah, so I'm
Roll,
searching
roll.
for that right now.
Okay. So while you're looking around, the human companion guy will be like, "Well, not exactly what I was expecting, but I appreciate you guys coming to my rescue. I thought that I was gonna starve in my little compartment there."
Well, you lucked out today, kiddo.
He'll be like, "I certainly did."
We came here just for you.
And he'll look at you funny and be like, So you said you were from Fort Bodeswell?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, your partner sent us here. Frankly, she didn't think you'd made it.
That's doesn't surprise me. Rosette doesn't think too highly of me as a first mate, but I've been doing my best to prove myself. I'm Kullik, first mate Kullik. It's nice to meet you all.
I'm Celine, and she'll give him a wink.
Pollock, I think you did an excellent job proving yourself on the battlefield today, and I'll extend out my slightly harpy gore.
Yeah,
hand.
and he'll tentatively shake it like weird.
Not that bad. Sorry, I didn't. There's not exactly.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
stink.
Yeah. And he'll sort of look around, and he'll look at you guys and be like, "Well, there's something that I should probably show you guys, and I'm not entirely certain about what we should do with it." and
I
he'll
would
he'll
probably have an idea.
he'll motion to you guys to follow him, and Hart will have noticed this by now. But he'll lead you to the compartment that he came out from, which is like again in the like roof of the airship. Like the cargo hold.
Mm-hmm.
Can I select this? There we go. Perfect. And the door that leads to it, which would be in the ceiling, sits like perfectly flush with the boards of the ceiling, and so is very difficult to, like, if you were to close it, you wouldn't see it. And so he leads you over there, and he's like, so I was hiding in here after the crash. I was able to, when I came to, Rosette was gone, the ship, and he gestures, obviously in ruins. I grabbed one of the muskets and some shot off the floor, which he motions to what was the wall of the airship. And I noticed that this door was slightly ajar. It must have been knocked loose from the crash. So when I heard those orcs trundling up, I shut myself in there. And you would be surprised to know that it was not empty. And he'll motion for you guys to look in. And so again, it's on its side, so it's a very small, almost like a crawl space compartment, but because it's vertical, it's like a standing space. So there's like room for like a person to stand.
It's like a closet.
Yeah, now it's like a closet where it would have
Yeah.
been like horizontal. And so on the floor of it, there are packages of cloth wrapped like rectangles that are about like, drug brick sized. And there are also nestled in the
that's a good
corner,
shit.
there are 2 kittens in there as well.
What?
And he will show it to you guys, and he'll reach in and he'll grab one of the cloth wrapped bricks, and he'll unwrap it, and it's clearly compressed plant material, and when he unwraps it, it gives off a very like heady aroma that you recognize immediately.
I'll take 3.
and he'll look at you and he'll be like, I don't know if you know what this is, but this is definitely not, military issue. What is the word? I just lost the word.
So what are you
Like
gonna do
tack
about it?
Or what's the freaking word?
Supplies?
Like things that you would be issued. Equipment isn't the right word, but
Sure.
Ration supplies.
yeah, supplies or whatever.
What are you gonna do about it, sir?
And
We
he'll
wanted to take that with us.
and he'll look at the 3 of you and he'd be like, "Well, we should tell Captain McKay's, because this is obviously not."
But if I asked you not to,
Go on.
I'm just saying, if I asked you not to, would you keep quiet about it?
Jesus.
I look up after having been playing with the cats, like completely disconnected from the conversation.
Kittens.
Be like, I'm gonna hold them both in my, or how many is it? Is it
There's
just
two kittens.
I'm gonna hold them in the crook of my arm and say, we can't do anything that could possibly endanger these small creatures.
Well, don't give them the drugs then.
And
We're
he'll
gonna have to keep this a secret. Kolik?
yeah, colic.
Kolik, we have to keep these a secret, no matter what. Nothing bad can ever happen to them.
And he'll look at you like with a puzzled expression and be like, "I'm not
Jesus.
super concerned about the kittens."
And then I will give a bloodthirsty scowl at him at that statement.
I'm very concerned about the kittens. And he'll like hold up the slightly open package and be like, I I want to give Rosette the benefit of the doubt that maybe she didn't intend for this to be on board or didn't know. But I am of the mind that as a soldier of the Lumerlin army, it's my duty to report this and turn this into Captain Macias.
Is it dangerous?
Just a goody two shoes, huh?
It's definitely contraband. I'm not.
Is it dangerous?
I'm not intimately familiar with, personally familiar with the effects.
Can I do a check?
Yeah.
Um,
And
Can
you
I
would,
do something after he's doing something?
So you would know, all of you would know, sort of, that there are many like colloquial names for these types of mind altering herbs or whatever that can be smoked or ingested or whatever. So it's often called witchweed or any number of just like common, street names or whatever.
is this fantasy pot?
It's fantasy pot, but it does have a reputation of being associated with magic because there's
So just like real pot.
so there's rumors and unsubstantiated claims of like witches and cultists and whatever.
Yeah, and then it makes you go cannibalistic.
Yeah,
and
using
crazy.
using the drug to get a closer connection to the winds of magic and the veil and piercing their way into the abyss and all of that. And so there's that like
That's the good stuff.
there's that like reefer madness idea of like
Yeah.
there's a culture where it's like, oh, I would never ever associate with anything that's like even mildly associated with chaos or magic or anything like that. And then there's the the other side where there's the seedy underbelly where it's like, oh, it's just a drug and it gets you high and maybe magic things happen for magic people. I don't know.
So, Hart had a really good connection when we did our combat training
Yeah.
with the lady that asked us to come look for this stuff.
So those were two different women.
Yeah.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Were they?
You sexist piece.
Are we
of shit.
are we sure they were two different women?
Definitely two different women. So the
One was in a full body cast and the other was running training drills. Yes, they were different.
so the woman that gave you your combat training, who you did have a good connection with, her name was Matcha.
I thought that's who sent us after the drugs.
So that was Rosette.
Rosette is the captain of the airship, and she was like, hey, while you're there, I need you to bring something back to me and not to Captain Macias.
To Lillian, do we like Rosette?
Do we like Rosette? Rosette's very friendly. And
Has she done anything for us?
no, but if
No.
we help her out, having an airship captain that owes us a favor could be very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Having the captain of our fort would be helpful too, but frankly, he doesn't seem to like us that much.
Hart's hurt enough.
Oh my god, this is my way in with him. We have to tell him that.
You already got an agreement with him.
But
Hard-
these are brownie
Hard
points. This is
enough.
just extra icing on the cake.
And so Colic is like,
You're gonna kill him? Is that what you just rolled an attack?
It's hurt enough.
Oh god.
I can't parry him. I have cats in my hand.
so
Two-handed demi-lance to his chest.
Jesus Christ, Topher.
So I do want to impart.
I don't care.
I do want to
I
impart
don't care.
on you that there will be consequences.
I don't care.
And
We're gonna make it look like he was ripped up by the harpy. It's fine.
Oh my god.
So you're gonna attack him?
Hart's first rodeo. I don't know if you guys know
Now,
about
I
my
believe
background.
Is that final answer? You're muted.
I mean, I've already rolled it, so
Does anybody?
unless one of these guys want to put their hands out and stop
I
me.
literally cannot
Heart's a
parry
fucking
him.
psycho.
My hands have cats in them, and I refuse to put these cats in danger for the life of this man.
And
Well, then you need
That
to
is
get
my-
out of this.
These are my priority levels.
Then you need to get out of this tiny little
Human life.
compartment
so you guys
where
are,
there's
you're
about
not,
to be a.
you guys aren't like in the compartment. You're all standing
no, we're
around
just
it.
under the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we can reposition if things are gonna get dicey.
Compartment big enough to put him in. Yes, because he was already there.
Yeah. So he was able to. You can like stand in it because it's like a, it's a compartment.
Yeah, fuck this guy. I'm gonna scratch him up with the harpy claws
So
and
you
shove him down in the compartment after I kill him.
Jesus Christ.
So you will suffer a lot of corruption for doing this. Because corruption is basically like your perception of the world and how positive your worldview is, and any sort of very rash or disturbing actions or things that go
Well,
against.
how does my indifference talent and immunity to corruption affect that?
So you don't take corruption from like seeing things that are like bloody and gross, but if you do horrible things, you will
There
suffer
are some
corruption.
consequences.
Yeah, so like if you murder somebody for just sort of out of the blue, you will suffer a very large amount of corruption.
It's for the good of my party.
I mean,
It's not.
you can justify it however you
I
want.
want to make the captain happy.
Make the airship captain happy.
No, the captain. I'm trying to get to his room.
And so like you may, because corruption is not a punishment, it's just how your actions affect you. So like if you
Listen,
do evil
Nathan,
things, you invite
this isn't going to
the
affect
chaos
your
in.
relationship with Captain Macaius.
Yes,
He's
it
never
is.
gonna
Like,
know.
Like, hey, we found these drugs.
He's
Look.
never going to know.
He does, but if I bring him the drugs, I'd be like, hey.
You don't know if that's
going
going to help.
Yeah, neither do you. Look,
Well, it
all
doesn't
that matters
matter
is
because
her
he's already
relationship
made
with the captain.
he's made the decision. It's happening, and my character, as of yet, is not going to stop him. Based on everything I know about Jordan, Trish's character is probably not going to stop him either.
No.
Trish is. If I knew anything about Jordan, he is the like
Laissez-faire.
I am a
Yeah, yeah.
bystander. Therefore, I am innocent of all crime
Yeah.
or responsibility. My
Well-
character will try and stop you, but that has not happened yet because
Kittens.
I have to get the kittens
Yeah.
to safety.
Jesus.
So as soon as he acts like he's going to tell, I'm just going to stab him.
Like at the fort?
Hard.
No, right now.
Well, right now, he's
Like, I asked him if he was going to keep it a secret, and as soon as I felt like he wasn't
Oh,
going to, I'm
so
just
do
going to
you-
stab him.
Do you
No warning.
Do you want me to like have him say what he's gonna say?
Oh, well, you already were. I was like, can you keep, if I asked you to keep this a secret,
Well, he said, I think we should report it.
right, and I said again, but if I asked you to keep it a secret,
And so he will look at you and maybe be like kind of weirded out a little bit. And he's like, what if we talk to Rosette about it and see exactly what happened?
Can I make a leadership check to just convince him to follow our lead?
Yeah. And there are a whole lot of social skills besides
Yeah, no,
Lance.
I was fully
Besides
prepared to
Lance.
allow him to Lance.
Yeah, and so
Um,
I am fine with you lancing random people, but you will build up corruption quickly
And we will have to kill you.
for murdering people.
Corruption.
I just don't know why you won't let me be myself.
You can. It's fine. I just wanted to impress upon you that it's a lot less murder hobo than like D&D where you can like you're like, "Oh, I'll just kill him. It's fine." your character will have mechanical effects applied to them for acts such as that.
So Lillian got a critical success on her leadership check. So
As she
she's gonna
always
stand-
does.
Yeah, she's gonna stand up from her sitting position with the cats in her forearm, and she's just going to look him in the eye and say, "Rosette is the reason that we came here. Rosette is the reason that we came, and we knew where these were already. We were told that you were probably going to be dead. Based on the look in Heart's eye, he's okay with that being a continued possibility. I don't want you to die. I want you to come back with us, and I want Rosette to get what she asked from us. Mainly this hat and those drugs. Now, you are under the assumption that Rosette doesn't think very highly of you. However, if you come back alive with her secret in tow, I think that will resolve your issue and put you on a much better career path. Don't you agree? And I'll continue to pet the kittens."
And you can tell that there's like his view of the world like shatters and reforms like 3 times in the span of like 20 seconds.
His life slightly flashes
Yeah.
before his eyes.
And he raises his eyebrows and he like looks at the drugs and he looks at Hart and he like furrows his brow and looks at Lillian. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we can. Maybe that's a good point. You know, we can. Let's see what she has to say about it."
You're a good warrior. I have trust in you to make the right decision here.
Yeah, that was a lot of emotional intelligence right there. That was good.
Thank you. I am a very wise ruler.
Did I ever
I
get
continue to pet the cats.
Did I ever get
I will
anything
name
from
you
the orc
Nitro,
leader?
and you Glycerin.
Yeah. So the orc leader has patchwork armor that would be considered, I don't know, like really shitty. Let's look real quick. Like brigandine armor or something like that.
Yeah.
And he has the Harpy Talon buckler and the Harpy Talon mace, both
Can I replace my normal wooden shield with his Harpy Talon buckler?
Absolutely.
Good. Perfect.
And
And
he
you
has,
know what the defensive qualities.
yeah,
of it
so
are.
I'll give you that information
Okay.
in a little bit. And he has on his belt an assortment of coins that equals. Give me 1 second. Ooh, burp. 3 gold and 15 silver.
Oh wow. That guy
And
was fucking rich.
How much?
3 gold and 15 silver.
Nice.
and
Pocket all of that.
Kolek, he'll watch you like looting the boss, and he'll be like, kind of like timidly under his breath a little bit. He like, well, when we get back to the fort, we should check like how much of that came from the airship, and you know, like if you want to, we can.
I just look at him like, what?
and Hart will just give him a glance.
And he'll look at all of you and be like, okay, I mean, whatever. It's maybe he had it.
Yeah, see?
Certainly, well, we can do plenty of inventory. I imagine the 2 orcs that escaped had pocketed any number of particular items, but I think the primary concern of the military is going to be the retrieval of the majority of the wreckage.
And he'll shake his head and be like, it will be important to get what's left of this back.
I'm also gonna knock out 2 of the orc's teeth and take them.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Cody took a bunch of shit from the harpy
I
as
know.
well.
And Celine's probably grumbling about it.
Let's see.
I was trying to figure out if there were any cool Winter King associated animals, but it doesn't look like the lore is quite that deep.
Well, I mean the wolf, obviously.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like there are like animals, but not like proper name, you know, like in Nordic tales, there's like the named
Oh
animals.
yeah. Like
I was
the Fenrir and all that.
Fenrir and
Yeah.
I was trying to find something like that.
We can make stuff up too if we wanted to. We can
Yeah.
always build a little pantheon sort of thing. So yeah, so
I'm gonna name one frost and one ice. What colors are they? Because I am absolutely putting them in here, and if Rosette wants to take.
Oh,
them
you're
away
naming the cats?
Yes, I'm naming the
Okay.
cats.
So one of them
these
is
are my cats.
one of them is black and one of them is calico, like orange and white and brown.
Cool.
And so Colic will be like, he'll begin walking through the wreckage and kind of like pointing things out and making like a mental note. He'll be like, okay, there's a canister of Luft gas, which is like a big metal barrel. There's, boxes of provisions we were bringing back, et cetera, et cetera. And he'll walk.
Hey, you thought of the word.
What?
Oh yeah, there it is.
You thought of the word.
Provisions. That's the word.
You
You're
thought of the
right.
word.
Oh my
Just the
god.
word.
And so he walks to the back of the airship here, where there's a giant gaping hole. And he'll remark kind of to himself. He'll be like, well, looks like there's literally nothing left of the drive as he looks sort of from the interior of the ship to the exterior of the ship.
Is it scrapped for the chains and assorted armor that the orcs created?
And he'll look at you and be like, well, it looks like they took some of that from the interior metalling of the ship, but as in terms of the actual drive itself, I don't see a single part of the air props or the drive engine. I do remember it exploding in air when we struck a particularly large tree, but I've never seen one completely disintegrate.
No shrapnel. There should be twisted wreckage at the minimum.
Yeah, so like you
somewhere
can see. I'm pointing at my screen again like an idiot.
Maybe it fell somewhere else.
You can see like here along the blasted edge, there's like burn marks, and there is like small chunks of metal embedded in the wood and everything. But it looks like this entire like bottom part of the airship would have been like the drive, and it is just like completely open and gone. Like you can see like the studding
Yeah,
and the
it's like
metal
almost-
where it would have
Like it
been attached.
Exploded outward.
Yeah, like where it would have been attached to the hull.
I want to examine this more closely, see if I can find evidence that maybe this was done intentionally and not the byproduct of an accident.
You should make an
Not scrutinized.
yeah, don't do that. You should make an Arcana check.
You do that untrained.
As long as it doesn't
An
have a star.
Arcana check.
As long as it doesn't have a star next to it, you can do it.
Where is Arcana?
Should be under
There is
intelligence.
no
Or what is it called for you? Incantation. Sorry, incantation. I was thinking 5e.
I can
Ooh.
make an incantation.
Yeah.
That's willpower.
Yeah, so
I
you
wanna do
should
that.
do that as well.
Jesus.
You still failed.
Dude, look at these 90 rolls, dude.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna say, hey Celine, come check this out.
And so
Don't tell me what to do, bitch.
those of you who are attuned to the winds of magic and are familiar with the veil and everything, as you approach this gaping hole in the back of the airship, you catch almost like a physical smell of like magiciness that wafts from
Magic.
like
It's good.
the burn, like the edges of the wood where it's burned around you. there's like thin tendrils of smoke that you realize are not like, it's not actual smoke. It's like literal like disturbances in the winds of magic that you can detect even just like standing near it.
What do you see, Celine? My visions are muddled.
Magic.
And Colic will look at you when you say that and be like, magic?
Yeah, magic.
What do you mean magic? This is an airship. There's no magic.
I mean,
Magic was
there's
used to
winds of
rend it
magic
from
here. Yeah, so maybe
And-
magic got used to rip it from here.
And he'll furrow his brow and be like, I don't think so. I've been on airships for a long time, and the drives they're not magic. It's machines.
Well, trust me, I know all about magic, and there's a bunch of magic here, like it's thick in the air.
Well, he's not necessarily saying that the engine is magic. He's saying that magic was used here. It's possible that your ship, rather than being the victim of spontaneous explosion, perhaps was the victim of a whirlwind of chaos energy in the atmosphere, or maybe even a direct attack by something quite powerful.
And he'll shudder at when you say that. And he looks over his shoulder, and even though you guys are like inside the hold of the airship and can't even like see the horizon or anything, he looks towards the direction of, you know, the glowing like on the horizon where the star impacted, clear like hundreds of miles away. He like looks over his shoulder and he's like, I want nothing to do with magic.
I
like magic.
I'll stand up again and clasp him on the shoulder, and just unless you want me to roll again, just sort of invoke that leadership check I made
fine.
earlier to just be like, you know, take heart. You know, for all of the wicked magic there in the world, there
Take
is
me where?
much. No, not you, Heart.
Take
Heart.
heart. I'm coming.
For all of the wicked magic that there is in the world, there's just as much good. It may be difficult to understand if your upbringing has been outside of the other parts of the waking world. Human society has a tendency to, we'll say, make things more black and white than reality would have them be.
And
There is good magic in the world.
He'll sheepishly nod his
Yeah,
head.
like
He's
that. Like that magic missile I used to fuck up that orc. That was
The
good
magic missile that he used to
He didn't
fuck
actually.
up that
He
orc,
didn't actually see that, but
he used
Oh.
magic missile to fuck up an orc. It's just as much worth noting that as a priest, I too can call upon divine magics to invoke the exact same effects.
he'd be like, "Well, I have heard stories of holy priests smiting foes and the like, and maybe I can make do with that kind of magic." And he'll look again at the like scorch marks around the edge with kind of like a renewed like wariness, and he'll be like, well, let's just get the engineers out here and haul this corpse back and get it put back together.
Agreed. I'll also mention to him, you said that you were concerned that you would starve. Were you running out of rations in your little hidey hole?
Well, I had been in the hole for at least a day with the drugs and the cats, listening to the orcs and the harpies fight each other and the eventual.
He's just laying in there. Just
Well, yeah,
petting
and
the
it
cat.
was mostly like standing because it's like a space that when it's vertical is maybe like 2.5 feet wide, but when it's vertical, it's very tall because it's like a flattened rectangle. So when the ship is upright, it's like a crawl space, so it's wide and flat. And so he was like standing in there with this
He's just in
rifle and the
snorting
weed
fantasy-
and
He's
the
snorting
He hasn't
fantasy
had-
weed, petting cats.
Yeah,
Not
and-
anything.
Jesus.
So I'll hand him my ration. I don't eat as much as you humans and dwarves tend to. So you're welcome to get something to eat, since I imagine it's been a moment.
And he'll look at you and be like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were an elf. Thank you." And he'll begin eating it. It's like hardtack and jelly and shit, but he eats it with gusto.
Calories.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that we need to collect here, gentlemen?
And he'll be like, "Well, let me make an assessment of how much luft gas is still in the envelope, and then I'm ready to move back to Fort Bodeswell." And he'll go and.
Are we near farmland? Is this just fields or is it farmland?
It's not farmland. It's more like, kind of like untamed forest.
Okay. Okay.
There's evidence of like trails where loggers would use and things like that. But it's not developed in any sort of specific.
But closer to the wall was more open space, right? Or was it all sparse?
Closer to the fort?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like rolling hills, which eventually led into this sort of sparse forest land that you're in.
And was any of that farmland, or once again, because I don't know if they were farming on the other side of the border for.
Oh yeah, so that some of it would have been that you like trudged through. Once you got off the road, you would have been walking through like some farmland and stuff like that.
Okay. On the way back, I want to keep an eye open for a scythe.
Oh yeah, just to steal one. That's sure.
Yeah, well, if it's on the other side of the border,
Yeah.
it's fair game.
Yeah,
They told us
it's
that.
military salvage.
We've requisitioned it.
Yeah.
As
Fever,
tax.
yeah.
But yeah, I was a priestess for a goddess of harvest, and as an elf with the trait of near immortal life, I spent a long time in the early portions
Yeah.
of training.
Yeah, using a scythe.
Just like, God damn it, I'm a fucking farmer. I don't want to be a farmer. Goddamn
Maybe
royalty.
she's a better goddess.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really choose it. It's one of those born into it sort of things. You know, like Christianism for most Americans.
Yeah.
Christianism.
Don't want to stab the
Christianism.
guy.
Christianism. When you're here, you're family.
So Kolek kind of pokes around the exterior of the envelope, like checking for holes and making eyeball measurements of how buoyant it still is. And then he will rejoin you guys and say he's ready to go.
Still want to stab Colic.
Maybe later.
Yeah, I mean, you can...
I'm assuming we're putting all of the drugs in Hart's bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are packets of drugs that there are not... It's not too big to carry, is what I'm trying to say. There's like 5 of these cloth wrap packages of compressed plant material that you can just put into like a field pack and carry pretty easily.
What he said.
As we're walking back, I'll like sneak over by Celine and be like, "Hey, you know, I bet they wouldn't notice if one of those packages were to go missing."
Oh my god, I want some so bad.
If you were able to get one off of him, then I imagine you'd be able to grease the wheels with the captain if you still wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, and then keep a little off the top for me.
Just so you can connect to the winds of magic.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, it's a windy day.
Yeah, it's real windy.
Whew.
And Trish is sort of following along, passively observing and being silently racist.
Classic Trish.
Yeah.
Classic Trish.
Classic Trish.
Humans, am I right?
Yeah, they're the worst.
Fucking humans.
That was a really good touch, by the way. He's like, he didn't even assume because I've got like a hat on that I couldn't see the ears.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So if you guys are ready to go, Colic's ready to go.
Celine's always ready to go.
In transit, so between the crash site and the castle, we need to check for a scythe, which will be, just give me a percentile, and it's going to be a fairly low chance to get it.
Okay.
Just to rant.
Am I rolling a stat?
This is just like straight up luck. Like you're just
Okay.
You're walking along and you're looking around, and maybe you're like Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
So unfortunately, you didn't find one.
I don't want to have to beat up some farmers or anything.
And then if if Celine and Lillian were interested in some way procuring 1 block of fantasy weed,
Oh yeah.
what is the
I am not interested in getting it for myself.
Okay.
I simply knew what Celine wanted, and I wanted to remind her that there's no reason that the captain would think that there was more than the 1 block.
yeah.
If she wants to try and get one, that's entirely up to her. It's not my jam. So
the
just wanted to
fellowship
let her know.
the fellowship of the weed is trudging back to the fort.
Yes. We're taking
And-
the bricks to Isengard.
And what is the tactic that Celine wants to employ to attempt to gain control of one of them?
To gain control of one of them.
Yeah,
So Topher's got him.
in his backpack.
So she'll come up and just start flirting with him, basically.
Good luck. Good luck with this tactic.
Yeah. So how does Celine the gnome
Is
comes
flirting
up?
with Hard the dwarf.
Yeah, and you guys are like,
Yeah.
you're maybe a little bit taller than Celine, but it's actually not
I'm-
like a huge height
I'm
difference.
4'8".
I'm 4 foot.
Yeah,
I'm 4.1,
Yeah.
technically, but.
and so what is your end goal, Celine?
She basically wants to, like, I don't know, basically, like, flirt with him, maybe try and make a deal, see if he'd be willing for a happy fun time in exchange for one of the bricks. Sexual favors.
How does Hart react?
Does she actually say exactly what she's looking for?
Oh, yeah, she's straightforward with it. She's like,
She's
"So,
very
yeah."
blunt.
She is, so she's like, so I'm looking to get one of them bricks. How about,
So one of the
give me
bricks,
one and I give you the old ha.
one of the bricks was opened by what's his name?
Colic. And he like
Colic?
rewrapped it, but yeah, it's not pristine
It's
anymore.
not sealed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hart just throws it at her and says, "Leave me alone."
That
The one
works.
that was opened.
Should we have Hart suffer stress for being accosted?
Accosted.
Do you think that would be appropriate, Topher, or should we not have him suffer stress?
He just doesn't. He doesn't.
He
Care
doesn't
about her.
engage?
Like he doesn't
Okay.
want any of her nonsense.
Okay.
Wow, rude. She seems very offended, like, I mean, I got the brick, but
You dare?
Hart plays very hard to get.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You mean heart to get?
Hard
I
to
like
get.
that. And so Colic will look at you and be like, what are you doing with it?
Celine.
Shit. It was supposed to be more subtle than that, not just throwing it at me. She's like, goddamn. I'm not good at words. What would she come up with?
What? Why doesn't she flirt with him? What do you like?
She's like holding She's like holding
Flirtations.
She's like holding the block of weed. She's like, do you want to fuck?
Do you want to fuck? Like, we could fuck.
And he's like, I don't think so.
She's like,
You don't know what to do, so you ask someone to.
Do you know what gnomish women can do?
I mean, basically, do you know Topher?
So I
Does he
will
know how
point out that originally he was in favor of giving it to Captain McCaus.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would know that, and
Yeah.
you know, if you were to say like, I'm gonna turn this into McCaus to get on his good side, then he might vibe with that a little bit, and then he might even like be like, oh, we can like, in his newly shattered worldview be like, oh, we can play like both sides of the field here.
Yeah, see, exactly.
If
now
we-
you're getting it.
If
Is
we
this
turn
guy
in,
suffering some levels of corruption?
oh, definitely,
Playing
like
contact
very
with us?
Oh, fuck
literally,
yeah.
mechanically, he's suffering corruption.
So yeah, she'll kind of just kind of be dumped out like I tried to get on the captain's good side. I'm gonna give him one.
And he'll like again, like you can see the wheels turning, and he's like, oh, so if we take one of the blocks to the captain and the rest to Rosette, then both are happy. And
We just tell him the orcs. We just tell Rosette the orcs got into one of the.
This is all we found.
packages. So.
Just say this is all we found, but the compartment was open.
Mm-hmm.
and Colic is like walking along with you guys, and
Yeah,
you can tell he's like deep in thought. He's like, am I doing the
Now
right
you
thing?
get
Like,
that. You
he's like-
definitely are.
he's like,
and she'll,
am
brush
I
his
the
way
baddie now?
inside.
3 hardened criminals.
and a silent human.
Wait, I'm not a hardened criminal.
So yeah, you
You
guys
were in
then
jail, weren't you?
you were in jail, right?
I suppose that's fair enough.
So you continue the trudge. The Fellowship of the Weed arrives at Fort Bodeswell,
I hate this
The
name.
weed. I love it.
and so you are met at the gate by two gatesmen. And they say, "Hail, Sash bearers!" And Colic, we thought you were dead. And Colic's like, "Oh, I thought I was dead too. It seemed like I was gonna die, but then these soldiers," and he says soldiers in like a very sincere way that you haven't heard before. He's like, these
Because
soldiers.
he's not treating us like criminals.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
these soldiers came out and they kicked some ass and they rescued me, and I wouldn't be coming back here if it wasn't for them.
I clap him on the back.
So he's like,
And-
hell yeah, I'm a boss ass bitch.
And then one of the gatesmen, he's like a big bully type. You can tell just from like the like bulldog look on his face. He's like, "Oh, well, even trash like the Sash Bearers can get lucky sometimes. Head on in."
You're a douche.
And he'll look at you and like scowl and look away.
Oh, really frustrating when you're part of a military organization and when someone talks shit on you, they can talk shit back and neither of you can really fight without getting court-martialed and killed.
He's like, "You're right, but there are other ways to go about it." You
Good
know,
luck.
Hart
Scared.
puts his hand on the demi-lance and scowls at the bulldog guy.
I hope he's an actual bulldog.
he's just literally an anthropomorphic bulldog.
Jowls.
Yeah. And then he like begrudgingly knocks on the gate, and it swings open and allows you in. So yeah, where to?
Well, I guess we'll go to the airship captain first.
So I'm gonna get some water real quick, and then we'll wrap this up in the next like 20-ish minutes, and then we'll call it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Does that sound good to
Yeah.
Yeah.
tired Nate? Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get some water because I am starting to lose my voice, and I'll be right back.
Sure.
Airship lady's name?
Rosette.
Yeah, we go to Rosette first.
Hart, hear me out. We probably should go to our direct superior first and just not give him.
He
other
searches
stuff.
us.
Does he search us? I mean, if we're already giving him one thing, I would be shocked. But I suppose there is that possibility. Alright, yeah, we'll go to the other one first. But if they ask us questions as to why we reported to her first, let me handle it.
We went to return her hat.
Yeah, Bessie.
Bessie
yeah,
the
did you-
tricorn.
You guys see the names of my cats?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him.
Better not. I'll be so fucking mad.
It's
I'm
for
gonna use
blood
my-
magic, Cody. I need it.
I'm gonna use my breath attack. Wait,
Wrong person.
Wrong person.
Cooper Smash.
Who was the guy from Step Brothers that wasn't Will Ferrell?
What are you doing, Step Brothers?
No.
Jesus. I don't know what the other guy was. What his name was. So.
John C. Riley. That's who I'm looking for.
There you go.
I've never seen John C. Riley stuck in a washing machine.
I can't remember. I could have swore it was a John C. Riley movie where someone's got the line like, "You better not, man. I'll be so mad. I'll be really friggin' mad." But I can't remember what it was about.
Was that not just from Step Brothers?
I don't think so. I've only seen Step Brothers like once, and this was like an emotional beat, so it made me think it might be like Walk Hard or something.
I don't know. I've only seen Step Brothers like once as well.
You better not be off smoking witch weed.
Huh? Me? No.
Los Drogos. Congratulations. One quest in and we're already drug runners.
Hell yeah.
Now we're not only being sent in inappropriately for crimes, we've actually committed crimes.
Yeah. I hope that gets me corruption.
I don't want corruption.
I do.
I basically am doing this because I am unjustly in prison, so I might as well curry favors where I can to get out of that.
Look, man.
All right. Snake's
I'm
still
just here
awake.
to have a good time.
I'm not here for a good time, I'm here for a weed time.
So I went to the liquor store today, and I got this.
Alcoholic.
You can't read it, but
It gets harder to read the closer
Yeah.
you bring it in.
It's a jalapeno pineapple pilsner. And I saw that, and I was like, that
right.
sounds awful. And so I bought
Yeah.
it.
This is like the shit where people have like jalapeno jelly and stuff.
That's actually really good. That's a jalapeno chocolate and jelly and stuff like that is amazing.
I don't get it.
I'm sure this beer is going to be awful. But so anyway, so where are you going? You're going to Rosette first? You're going to the
Rosette,
Captain
yeah.
first? Okay.
No, I want to unload the contraband first before we go to.
So you
How
go to
was it?
Rosette. It is weird. It's like really spicy, which is like not what I expected at all. So you go to Rosette. She's still in the infirmary because obviously it's been like a day, and it's night now by the time you get to the fort. Oh wow, that's really spicy. And so you go in, and she's still in her bed. She's got her arm in the cast, and she looks pissed off to be confined to the bed. But and she's like, "Colic, Sash bearers, you made it back! Like, tell me what happened. Like, I thought you were dead, and you've got an arrow sticking out of you, and like."
I just gingerly take the hat off of Cody and I put it on her,
And she's like,
and I just kind of
"My
stare
hat."
at her.
and she cradles it.
That must have been really hard for you.
Yeah,
because I'm very tall.
Cody's very tall.
And I just gingerly put it down on her, and I just stare at her.
And she like flips it over, and the inside is like speckled with gore. And she like begins to wipe it out. And she's like, "You found my hat!" And she's like, "Did you find anything else?"
Where do you want it?
And she'll look at Hart and be like, "All right, so I'm gonna. What exactly?" And she'll look at Colic, and she'll look at you guys, and she'll be like, "Let's." And Colic will be like, "I know what it was." And she'll
Don't
look.
worry, Colic likes cats.
And
Pet, pet, pet.
yeah, and she'll be like, "Oh, you found the cats."
I put my hand on my lance, and I'm like,
cats.
I told Colic I was bringing it back to you, and he got my point.
and Colic will look like
that
sheepishly at Hart.
I'll look at Colic and be like, "Is that a
Oh my
euphemism? Did I miss something?"
Why were you transporting cats? That's my question.
And so she'll be like, "So you know like why I couldn't tell you, right, Colic?" And Colic will be like,
Oh,
I
fine.
guess, but I wish you would have let me know in case something like this happens. And she's like, "You just seem like such a goody two-shoes. Like, I was afraid,
Right?
you know." And Colic's like, "Well, maybe I can understand why you did this. And maybe I'm fine with whatever you have going on here. Just if we're gonna do the whole captain first mate thing with the airship, I really need to like have all the information from you." And Rosette's like normally sort of jovial, sarcastic facade, you can see it kind of like falls for a little bit. She's like, "That's a really good point. I hadn't considered that before. But I promise from now on that we're gonna work together a little better, and I trust you with my fantasy weed."
Yes.
And Colic like blushes a little bit, and he's like, "All right, I'm glad we could do this." And side note, that hidden compartment you have in the airship, excellent hiding place. The orcs didn't hear me or the kittens at all. I would say for the future, maybe we should stash some food in there just in case. But these guys, they came up, and I swear it was wham bam. Orcs were dead and running. Harpies out of the sky.
yeah.
It was crazy. These guys are.
Colic here is quite the shot with a musket. You should be proud to have him by
And
your side.
she'll like look at him and be like, "Colic, you never told me that you could shoot a musket." And he'll be like, "I never had the chance to shoot a musket on the airship before." And she's like, "That's a good point, I suppose."
He blew an orc's head clean off. That's where the blood in your hat is from.
And she'll look at him and go like, "You did this, Colic? That's amazing."
Didn't even damage the hat.
And she's like, "I appreciate your accuracy in terms of decapitating orcs when they're wearing my hat." And so they'll
You guys gonna tell her about the swishy magic shit?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
good
and she'll be
point.
like, "Magic?"
Celine detected the winds of magic amongst the scarred damage of the rear end of the ship. It seems more than a little bit likely that one reason or another, magic was involved with the downing of your vessel.
And she'll nod and be like, "Interesting. So like, how's the drive?"
Completely gone.
And she'll like raise her eyebrows and be like, "Gone?" She's like,
Yeah.
"I remember there being an explosion when we hit a tree. I thought it was just a tank of luft gas that got punctured or something, but the drive is gone?"
Yeah.
Likely not exploded or incinerated. Perhaps taken.
Interesting. That's going to be a pain in the ass to replace. and she like you can see her. It's almost like the meme with the lady and the math like going around her head.
Yeah.
She's like
No,
doing.
that's the guy from Hangover.
Well, no, there's two of them. There's two.
There's another one.
Yeah, there's like the woman where it's like
Yeah.
trigonometry or whatever going around.
Oh yeah.
And she's
More
like,
confused.
oh my gosh. Well, the sooner they can get whatever's left back here, the sooner we can start replacing that. That's sort of a pretty integral part of a functional airship. And she'll be like, okay, but back to the important stuff.
Yeah,
You
why
can.
Were you transporting cats?
She'll be like, well, I picked up the cats at the neighboring fort we were visiting on our looping. Fuck these words. All of these military
Route?
words. Tour,
Tour.
where the ship would go from fort to fort. She'd be like,
Tour and like threer.
Horror.
I hate that. You just said that. And so she'll be like, we were at a neighboring fort, and there's a cat that had kittens, and Fort Bodeswell is so dingy and empty, and there's not anything happy here, and Micaeus is just like weird about some things, and so I was like, maybe a cat, and maybe some weed, would be good for the morale of what we've got going on here. So if you will make it easy, you leave the weed here with me, and I will dip out when the nurses let me, and I'll put it where I had originally intended to put it before the airship exploded in midair and crashed.
So I'll assume that she has a bag there by the
Yeah, she's
bed.
got like all of her stuff. She's got like a book
All right.
where she's taking notes, and
So I'll just transfer what I have to her bag.
she'll like take the things, and she like opens, there's like an inseam like pocket in her bag where she like lines them in there and then like closes it up, and so the bag just kind of looks lumpy instead of full. And she'll look back at you and be like, there was 5.
There was only 4 left. I don't know if one of them got taken by the orcs.
You should roll a what is an effective lie? Is there
I think
Guile.
it's gold.
Yeah, guile. Guile.
Guile is.
Oh no, Topher.
You can always spend a fortune point.
I don't
Yeah.
think you would make it on the reroll, but you can try.
You never know. I mean, at this point, session's basically over. Might as well spend a fortune point. Oh,
There
yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
That's funny.
And so what do you say?
I found 4 and 2 cats.
And she looks at Colic, and
I'll open my coat and be like, "Here's the cat."
and Colic like kind of like nods his head but doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
she
orc
looks
was getting blitzed.
Yeah, and she looks at the rest of you and be like, "All right, I'm sure those orcs had a hell of a rager, because it's a lot of fantasy weed that they just they nicked."
And we didn't get all of them. 2 of them managed to escape.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're gonna distribute. Interesting.
Yeah, they might start competing.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can talk to them, you can get them as a provider for you.
Yeah. And
I love the idea.
yeah.
Of stumbling across a giant orc pot farm.
Yeah, just like out in the boonies.
They fire that musket in the air.
Yeah. We got rustlers.
Welcome to Orcs' Fantasy Weed and Moonshine.
Yeah, right. And so she'll be like,
Times here.
she like is running through the timeline like verbally. She's like, okay, Colic was hiding in the secret compartment. The Sash bearers roll up and are fighting the orcs, and she's
Scarlet
like,
came out to fight with us.
yeah, and she's like, so they must have just snatched it while you guys were in the middle of your heated melee.
When the two escaped.
She's like, all right, well, I appreciate you guys bringing back what you can, or what you could, and I will be sure to put this to good use, and I'll let you guys know that you Sash bearers, you're in my good book now. And when we get this hunk of junk flying again, you let me know, and I'll take you where you need to go.
And if we blast some orcs out in the field and we find another brick, you'll be the first to know.
It's gonna be like 10 episodes from now, and you're gonna be like, oh, what loot do I find on the orcs war boss? And I'll be like, you find a brick of fantasy weed. And you'll be like, yes, we can finally
the debt is
we
paid.
can pay back Rosette for the weed that we stole from her.
You guys do realize if I give this to the captain, everything is going to come crashing down and we're going to lose our favor to her, right?
There is the chance,
Yeah, it's a possibility.
but there are ways you
Lean doesn't
could.
care.
There are ways
Maybe
you
convince him to
could.
be hush hush about it.
Yeah.
If you directly tie it to you going on a date with him, I guarantee he'll want to be hush hush about it.
So yeah, Rosette is pleased. Colic is pleased. He's able to save face, and he will sit next to Rosette, and they start talking airship retrofitting and redesign and where they're gonna source parts for shit and whatever. It's all very boring and technical, and you definitely don't want me to like directly roleplay it, because that would just be the worst. And so you guys should go and see somebody else.
Yeah.
To
We'll talk
Macias,
to
ladies.
We're going to head to Vacace and see Celine's like, I really got to piss. I will be right back. And she's going to run off to the outhouses or whatever. She's going to take a little off the top for herself. And then she's going to wrap the package
She's gonna
back
like
up.
scrape some of it into like a little hidden pouch or whatever.
Fuck
She's
yeah.
she's gonna be like, look what the orcs has had.
Yep. And so then, yeah, you're able to find one of Macias's valets, and they can direct you towards him to his office where he almost always is. And there's nobody there right now. And you're like, Sash Bearers, I'm surprised to see you. Welcome back to Fort Bodeswell. I assume the mission was a success.
Surprised.
An orc boss, we killed a harpy,
Really
and
an
we
orc
sent a couple of well, he was an orc boss.
He's a
Orcs
leader.
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was definitionally an orcs boss.
And he'll hold his chin in his hand as you say that and be like, orcs. Been hearing a lot about orcs recently.
They had captured and had been torturing a harpy that they were using as some kind of sentient war beast of all things.
Really? That is. And he'll look around at some of his scrolls and papers and stuff and be like, that is completely uncharacteristic from what I would normally expect from... How many orcs was it?
3.
Well, we noticed 3. It was possible that there were additionals.
There
but
were
once
some
we-
dead ones.
Once we took care of the leader, the rest seemed to panic and scatter. So
That's
possible
to
there
be
were others
expected.
hiding.
That fits with what I would expect from orc behavior, but
there was one other peculiar instance that we experienced that perhaps maybe be more in line with traditional beliefs about the subject. We found some contraband in their storage. Isn't that right, Celine?
Yeah. And she'll take it out of her bag and go up and give to him and be like, maybe this will help me get into that or get that invitation.
and he'll take it and look at it and be like, "Oh, do you know what this is?"
Which weed?
And be like,
She just says it with a very flat face.
"Which weed?"
It's common in the wilds where she and I originate.
And he'll nod his head and be like, interesting that. And he'll look at like the packaging and everything and be like, I wonder, they must have stolen it from a caravan in Voshek Tadberg or something. This is obviously of human make, or at least of the sentient ancestries. You know, you can see from the
weird.
the
Could
production.
have raided a nearby town or
It,
something.
it may have been related to the big magic boom.
Orcs over there being weird, getting high, fucking sickos.
Degenerates.
But Hart is right. There was a big magic boom, although Hart, I'll admit, I would be shocked if it was related to the big magic boom.
And
but I
he'll-
suppose anything is
And
possible.
he'll set the fantasy weed down and be like, big magic boom? What do you mean?
Celine, do you want to describe it? You're the one that detected it.
So the warp drive is like completely gone, and like the winds of magic were pretty heavy around where it used to be. Like I didn't even need to use my witch sight to see it.
Magic. So you said the airship drive is gone?
Yes.
Totally.
That
Unlikely to be destroyed unless it was atomized.
and he'll be like, that is going to be a huge pain in the ass to replace. And he'll furrow his brow again. And be like, well, that wouldn't be the weirdest thing that I've heard happening across the border and since the star fell, but at least now we know where the airship is. What of the first mate?
He's alive. He's currently with Rosette right now.
Amazing. Alive.
They're working on details to hopefully get the vehicle back upright again as soon as possible.
That would be ideal. And he'll nod and he'll almost like notice the package of witchweed again and be like, "Oh, I greatly appreciate you. I know you didn't come here on the most normal of circumstances, and some of you probably have backgrounds ill suited to that of a soldier, but you bringing this here to me shows a lot of character that I hadn't expected from my sash bearers."
I got so much more character for you to see.
And he side eyes you a little bit. He'll be like, I really appreciate you not doing what I would have expected and disseminating such contraband among my men. Gods only know what a bunch of soldiers with witchweed could get up to. I will ensure that this is disposed of correctly, and this I will make note of
get
this.
high.
He's like, just gonna burn all of it, right? He's like, I'll dispose of it.
Hot box.
I know you said that we've surprised you, but I hope that this will perhaps change your view on the types of people that are currently being imprisoned in what nation are we from again?
Lumerlin. Yeah.
In Lumerland. This hopefully will be an eye-opening experience that not everyone that's being imprisoned is being sent there for the right reasons.
And he'll sit back and kind of cross his hands in front of him and be like, perhaps I misjudged you.
That's
I
racist.
have to say that
It's racist.
none of us are here really under our own intention. The cataclysm across the border really has my men shaken. Nobody is interested in being right on the forefront of whatever horror is unfolding in Voshek Tadberg. And I potentially maybe took out some of that on you guys, and I do apologize. And all I can say now is that you're going to have a lot of work coming up. There are reports from refugees pouring in. I had an outrider return just a few hours ago talking about orc bands and mutants and all kinds of stories reported from the people still living in Voshake Tadberg. It's a shit show over there. And we here at Bodeswell are going to do what we can for the electors. We're going to try and further their goals, but I don't know. We're going to have our work cut out for us. And I appreciate the surprising aptitude that you four have displayed in accomplishing a frankly incredibly important mission that's time sensitive now that we know that the drive is gone. And so I will dispatch engineers and escorts, and we'll have the ship. Words. What the fuck? What do you do when you take something apart? Then you're gonna take the ship apart and bring the pieces back.
Disassemble it?
Yeah, disassemble it.
Deconstructed.
Yeah. And bring the ship back, and we're gonna hopefully have a functioning airship as soon as possible.
You looking at maps again, Topher?
Tobert is fucking maps.
He's just in the war room over
Yeah.
there on the table.
Who got the map wet?
And yeah.
That's the ocean.
Celine?
That's just the water.
Yeah, that's
You
the
have to put
ocean,
water on
remember?
the water.
I got all turned on.
Jesus.
And
Yeah, we're gonna eat one of the cats tonight.
No.
and he'll be like, be on the lookout for one of my valets to fetch you for the meal that I promised to have with my
Oh,
first
you did it, Celine!
my first
Hell
Sash Bears
yeah.
Corps.
Hell yeah.
This
Did what?
Got the invite.
Yeah.
Celine got invited.
Yeah,
to dinner
because
with Adam.
before you guys were dispatched.
Yeah, you didn't get invited to his bedroom though.
No.
before.
it's
Yeah,
baby steps. Baby steps.
yeah. Before
Baby steps.
Before you were dispatched, he was like, "Okay, weird gnome person, if you come back from this successfully,
Okay, weird gnome person.
I will
a
invite
good
you
job.
to a meal." And the
She
you,
said she would consider it.
yeah, the you was a collective Sash Bearer you.
Fortunately, Lillian and Hart aren't feeling so good. They're both, a little injured from the battle. So we're probably just gonna rest tonight.
And he will be like, definitely not having the meal tonight. He's like,
Oh,
I
okay.
have a lot to do with the engineers and the escort team, prepping them, and I need to figure out how to dispose of this horribly offensive contraband.
And I want you to know right now that if you and Nate do not RP this, then this is entirely a wash. The entire reason I am here
Is
for
the
this
dating
is
sim.
over.
Yeah.
The dating
If
sim.
you do not RP this dinner, I will be so heartbroken.
Oh, we will. Just not tonight.
Is this a good opportunity for me to try and make a leadership check here for something?
Yeah.
See if I can pass it. I should.
I would be surprised if you
Speaking.
didn't. 38?
I do.
Yeah.
So I basically want to just stand tall, and I just want to say to him, now I know that you've already apologized, and I acknowledge that, and I want to let you know that you are forgiven. I understand that you are a gear in a greater machine, but I also know that as a military man and one of relatively important standing, all things considered, that you probably have goals and aspirations. And I want to let you know right now that with your assistance and the assistance of Masha and the other individuals we found here, even with the minimal resources that we are given, if you allow us to help assist in raising the Sash Bearers, you could have not only a garbage penal corps of trash infantry to get killed, but you could have a set of trained warriors that are stalwartly willing to help achieve the goals of
Lumerlin?
Stalwart.
Lumerlin.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say
You could say the electors. Bodeswell would
The
be fine too, yeah.
Sure.
Because the
Of Bodewell,
yeah, the fort has its own mission.
and the sash bearers could be less of a badge of shame and something that you would be proud to be the captain of, something that could go down in history as something that changed the fate of the people of Lumerland.
And he'll nod his head and he'll say, duly noted. That's definitely not what I had expected when I was told that the electors had enacted this plan. But I see that maybe my misgivings were unfair and misplaced, and that the sash bearers can become something not only useful but maybe integral to the operation of Fort Bodeswell. And I appreciate the four of you showing me that we can work together, and that I don't have to assume that you're just gonna die screaming in the wastes.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was shit.
There's a power in the diversity of skills that people who are not soldiers bring to the table.
And he'll nod and be like, that is an interesting perspective that maybe I should consider a little bit more. And
Cool.
he said, if that's it, then I have a lot of work to get to. And I'm sure, and he'll point to like some of the bloody spots on those of you who are wounded. He'll be like, I'm sure that there are things that you would like to attend to, and you have a well-earned rest ahead of you. I will be calling you for the meal, and then in short order, we're going to have plenty of things lined up for the sash bearers to do. There is just no end to the stories coming out of Voshake Tadberg. And he'll do whatever salute they do. I haven't made one up yet, but be like, dismissed. and yep. And one of the valets will come to collect you, and that's the end of the session. Because unless you have something you want to do, because
Selene's gonna go get blitzed.
Selene's just gonna get mega high.
I need to start researching how to cast a more long form version of Sanctuary.
Okay.
So I'm going to start researching that because I'm going to need to put it on the cat box so that no one can come in and hurt my cats while I'm not there.
That's fair.
I like how Cody has just claimed these cats.
They're my cats.
Nobody else did. Yeah, he got there first.
They are Luna and Scout.
Oh, I thought you named them
disappeared,
Frost and something.
I did, but then I changed them.
Okay. Luna and Scout.
Luna and Scout.
I like that.
Do I gain any corruption from the session? Did I do anything bad?
Does the calico coloring make them taste better?
I don't think anybody got corruption this
They're
time.
actually poisonous.
Damn
Art.
it. I wanted
Cats
corruption.
are purely poisonous.
Because, let's see, you succeeded your resolve for the gory scene, and so did Cody, and so did Trish, and Topher didn't roll because it doesn't bother him, and Topher didn't murder Colic, so he didn't gain any corruption. If Topher had murdered Colic,
I thought about it.
all of you would have gotten a lot of corruption
for allowing it to happen.
for witnessing and taking part.
Damn.
But in terms
thought
of
about it.
in terms of like, because normally you suffer corruption from like injuries and
There's a whole list.
yeah, and like stress and madness and stuff like that, and doing drugs. I guess if before the end of the session you wanted to do the drugs, then you would gain some corruption.
Yes.
Okay, so you gain 2 corruption from doing the fantasy
2?
weed.
He gets 2 full corruption from doing fantasy.
So he will have to roll at the end of the session. You roll a d10, and if you roll below the number of corruption,
Or equal to.
or equal to, then you gain a chaos rank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did.
I
You still
didn't
didn't give me the shield info.
Oh
But I
shit! Yeah, I need to do
feel
that.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of there's a list of corrupt offenses in the book, and
Yeah.
defacing a tomb, bullying the innocent. I really didn't do many.
Yeah,
of this.
so like if you do things that are, on the
If I had
scale.
instead of trying to convince Colic, if I had literally been like, Heart will kill you unless you do what we want.
Yeah,
I probably
that
would
would've-
have gotten corruption.
That would have
You're
been
right.
sort of a group corruptive offense of like we are as the four of us threatening to murder you if you don't go along with our plan.
That's what we should have done.
That's what we should have done. Don't worry,
Actually,
Nate.
it's
There will
ranks
be
to take
plenty
care
of
people.
opportunities to gain corruption.
Yeah, but if I don't get a 2 or under on this roll, then I don't get my extra +3 initiative.
I know, but
I don't get my extra +3 initiative.
oh yeah, you rolled a
Friggin'
7.
Wild ass hedgewise.
Yeah, yeah. So Nate's class.
He's just gonna keep smoking. He's gonna
He's
smoke
just like,
weed
I need
as he
to.
can.
Yeah, he's gonna like before
So how
every
did you get
mission.
how did you get those tentacles growing out of your forehead?
It was the,
Really, I just got stoned. And
it's the
I turned into a
fucking.
pickle.
It's the witch
Turned
weed.
himself into a fucking pickle.
Yep.
He's pickle red.
It's like remember how they said it put hair on your hands or whatever? Well, tentacles.
Yeah. Also hair on.
Also hairy hands. But yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. It was an excellent
Yeah.
session. That went super
Thanks,
well.
guys. That was fun. I love combat in this.
Yeah, it's
It's very fun.
very like crunchy, but it's quick. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the people from For the Sake of Gaming. You're awesome. Everybody in the Zweihander Discord. You're also helpful. Every time I have a question, it's just amazing. My bros over here, Nate, Cody, and Topher, thank you for showing up. Let's bully. We should bully Jordan next time we talk to him.
Yeah.
Right.
I never stream, but if you want, you can follow me.
Yeah.
/the21dealer.
Cody streams at the 21 Dealer. I stream occasionally.
I can be subscribed to, but I am very bad at streaming.
Nate has streamed before in the past.
Yeah, I don't really stream.
Doesn't really stream.
Let me send. This is the emote. Wait, I clicked the wrong one. This is
Topher-
the emote you get if you subscribe to me.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Topher has a.
This is gonna be Luna, or I guess Calico.
Topher has a Twitch.
Yeah,
Tovaxis
what's your
Gaming.
Twitch? Yeah, Tovaxis. That's right.
Yeah. Super awesome. Thank you, Daniel, again. I'm gonna say thank you to Daniel like every single time. Because
Yeah.
I know he listens to these.
Thanks, Danny boy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Ching.
Hard.
So we're gonna cut the
Just Cody
stream.
said that.
I've run out of things to say. Session was awesome.
Night, y'all.
Yeah. Good night. Good luck. I love you.